guys, I'm Member. Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm here with another pick a card on the most important message for you right now. We have 3 piles. The first pile is Wise Salt. The second pile is Ash. And the third pile is Rotation. So take your time, go to whatever pile you feel intuitively called to. The links to the piles will be in the description box below, as well as if you want to skip me reading the cards. So take your time, and I will give you a few seconds, and then we'll get started. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So today we're doing a pick a card on the most important message for you right now, and you picked Wise Salt. If you want to skip me reading the cards, it's in the description box below. Okay, so we have Wise Salt, Anima Mundi, the Kiss, the Storm, the Sustainer, 47 Sacred Pool, 45 Sad Embrace, and 17 Ghostlands. Okay. Pile 1. Okay, so I feel like the first thing I saw was I had a vision of what's happening to you. And the first thing I saw was I saw your crown chakra, like I saw angels around your crown chakra, and then I saw your crown chakra like really lighting up and being awakened. And then I saw the light from your crown go into your eyes, and your eyes were lit up. And so you could be receiving spiritual downloads. You could also feel a new awareness setting in. It doesn't have, I'm feeling it more spiritual, but I get some of you, not all of you, have don't know if you necessarily believe in the spirituality thing, and so I'm trying to like figure out another way to explain it. You just could have a new awareness, and you could be connecting to the universe in a different way than you were before. And I do feel like it's bringing some type of softness that is needed right now in this time. I feel like you're going through a storm in something that you've been trying to sustain. And this Wise Salt, the most important message that I got in this message is that salt retains, preserves, and absorbs. It brings complexity to flavors and grit for slippery roads. And then when you see someone who has Wise Salt, someone whose words hold deep meaning and truth, and you can see like, wow, this person's really wise, it usually comes, it says, I wrote down, wisdom cannot be obtained by any other means than decades of pain and pleasure. And everything that you are going through right now, Pile 1, will be of use over time. So you're like gaining nuggets of wisdom and changing on a very deep level because of this storm that you're going through. And I know that may be hard to see. And I really want to like convey the deep meaning that's happening with you. Because I was feeling like I wanted to get into like, I want to show you how deeply meaningful this is, because when you're in the storm, you're like in it, and it's really hard to see anything else that's going on. And I think the most important thing right now is just to surrender to what's happening, because fighting the storm is a losing endeavor, of course, because it's a storm. And then also it's makes it harder to go through, and surrendering to just the fact that like I'm feeling internally like there's a storm or there's a tower going on, or something happened outside of me that's like causing me to feel this way, and that's what's happening externally, internally. I do feel like it could be more internal, the storm, but I also feel like it also could be external. I feel like it's both. And I was getting into this, so what you're going through right now has a lot of meaning, even if you can't see why or like why this is happening yet. There's a really deep meaning here, and it's teaching you on a deep level about yourself, about others, about how you relate to others, about how you relate to yourself. And another thing that was coming through was empathy and compassion. So empathy they did research on the scientists, and they saw that empathy and compassion are 2 different parts of the brain. They like light up 2 different parts of the brain. Empathy is you're suffering, and I'm resonating with your suffering because I'm feeling my own suffering because of you suffering and what you're going through. It's reminding me of my own suffering, and I'm feeling that, and I'm resonating with that suffering, right? With you. I'm in it with you. Compassion is I'm holding space for you while you go through this, and I'm not suffering in the moment. I'm wanting to help, right? Like I'm wanting to help you with this, right? And then also we have empathy and compassion for others, but we also have empathy. Sorry, there's noises going on. We have empathy and compassion for ourselves. I hope I don't have to stop. I might have to stop. It's too loud. There was dogs barking earlier too. I don't know what's going on with the noise thing, but it's a thing. So if we have a hard time empathizing with others, let's say you're really good at compassion, but you have a hard time with empathy. If you have a hard time with empathy with others, you're going to have a hard time having empathy with yourself. So if you have parts of you that are hurting, it's going to be hard for you to empathize with yourself, right? So if you have a hard time empathizing with others, we got to and I don't think it's about others. I think it's more about yourself, but I'm going to put it in the context of as if it's with others because it helps make sense of this. So let's say every time like someone's crying like in front of you, you're like, get this ick feeling and you're like, you don't want to empathize with them. Why? Right? You don't want to empathize with them because you don't want to feel that your own suffering that you're feeling, that they're bringing up within you. So then that can actually point you to like, oh, wow, like I may have a hard time empathizing, not because I don't want to empathize with that person, but because I don't feel I have the capacity to empathize with myself, because I do feel there's parts of you that are wanting you to resonate and be with emotions that you're having. And it really reminds me of like the storm that you're going through internally. And so I'm like, what could help this? Small practices of empathy for like 1 minute. Like, you know, it's not like you want to go, I want to empathize with, you know, like, what's an example? Someone like crying for the 8th time with their, you know, and about their boyfriend, right? I don't want to empathize with that. That's too much for me. So like then a way to help this would be like, I can practice my empathy when a person on the plane is telling me about their shitty day, right? And this also can be a practice within yourself. And breaking it down, I think what I want to help you with, because I think that we can get into like these big things of like, I have to change all at once. I have to do this all at once. That's a rushing and a fear response. You don't have to figure it all out right now. You don't have to make sense of it. You do not have to make any decisions right now. I'm getting a very strong feeling from spirit that there needs to be a lessening of what you should be doing, right? And a more of like, okay, what can I do today that actually won't overwhelm me? And can I even sit with myself today in empathy and try to see how other parts of me are feeling just for 1 minute or 2 minutes? We're not, because I feel like I sometimes, me personally as a reader, get into these big, huge concepts. And sometimes I have a hard time going with the smaller, like more daily practical things. And that's something I also experience with myself. And so I think that there needs to be, before you jump into like the deep end with yourself and going within, right? I want to just talk about like how we can do that in smaller, bite-sized ways. Like every day, just for 1 minute a day, or every couple of days for 1 minute a day, try to sit with your pain. Because I do think that you feel extremely overwhelmed and triggered. And when that happens, there's a difficulty in sitting with any of it because it's just so overwhelming to your nervous system. And I am getting genuinely that there is like a very big overwhelm of your system. I also got that because you're having this new awareness set in spiritually, or just from just a higher point of view, it doesn't have to be spiritually, you're having both the light and the dark come through, as in like not from outside of you, but from within you. So when our crown chakra activates, I'm like trying to think of, I don't even know what I'm saying here, but Spirit's guiding me. I never thought about this. So when our crown chakra activates, it's going to make us more aware of the bigger picture. And that bigger picture can cause the dark and the light parts of us to react to the bigger picture. So I don't know if you got triggered by some type of bigger picture or something bigger. I don't know what it is. And now I'm also getting called to like, how do we go smaller with even connecting to like the universe, right? Like even small bite sizes of that, something that makes you feel good. This won't be something that triggers you. It'll be like looking at the flowers for a minute a day, or like, you know, noticing a crow fly over your head. Like that also opens you up, and looking at a tree, you know what I mean? That opens you up in a way. I just want to bring smaller, even talking to a friend that you really trust. Like I'm trying to bring smaller bite-sized, helpful, practical things that you can do to help you through this. What else? I mean, obviously just being completely kind and compassionate for this. And I think that's why Spirit wants me to bring in the meaning so much of this. Like this, whatever you're going through is extremely big. And because of how big it is and how much it's overwhelming you, I think that's why I'm being called to like go into smaller baby steps that can help you move through this. You could feel like you have a lot of like flashbacks coming in. I'm getting with ghost lands. It doesn't have to be flashbacks, but you'll feel like the past with you in some way. It doesn't have to be in flashbacks. I'm just getting like the past with you. Like there's a ghost of the past that's with you. I'm hearing haunting you. And yeah, okay. I'm trying to figure out what and there's some, but yes, there's something you're discovering. Like you discovered something, you figured something out. And I also feel like you figured something out really beautiful. And then you also figured out something really painful too. Like I'm getting you figured out two sides of the same coin because of one event. I don't know if that's exactly true. I'm just getting it like that. And I do feel like there's something you've been trying to sustain that's a tower. So towers are moments or things that happen to bring harmony, but they happen in a very intense way. It's like, is it Venus? No. Is it Venus energy that does that too? I can't remember. I don't know why I'm blanking on that, but no, Libra energy, justice. Libra energy, yes, right? Yes, both bring harmony, but one does it in a very intense, shocking way from the universe usually, or other people. And the other one does it in a very harmonious way, a very like, let's work and collaborate. And so I feel like you're experiencing the tower in something you've been trying to sustain and something you felt quite comfortable in. Maybe it was a frame of mind. Maybe it was what you're going to be doing for the next 10 years. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a person, like, right? And I feel there's a crack in some armor that you've had. And I think that crack that I'm seeing is making you feel really uncomfortable. Like, this is not where I thought I would have this crack happen. You know what I mean? It was like a different part of yourself that you thought you'd have a crack in, or a different place where you felt like you could, like you knew what you were doing. And maybe the crack is in the fact that you don't know what you're doing and you always know what you're doing. Maybe that's the crack, right? And that's really painful. I'm not laughing at you because I'm like, I just know exactly how that is. Like I've experienced that before too. That type of crack, and you're like, what is even anything anymore? Like, it's like kind of giving that energy, and it's so painful because you're like, I thought I knew everything. I thought I understood this to the level that I felt comfortable, and now I feel like I don't understand this, and now that's making me feel very open and raw, and like I need to protect myself. And again, I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel like something happened. I don't know what it is, but you feel sad. There is grief here, definitely, and I think it's the grief of the past. Spirit saying don't make any rash decisions right now. I keep getting that feeling of like, don't make any decisions. Try not to make any decisions. If you're wanting to make a decision out of fear to try to change something because you're in pain, right? That's what I've done. That's what we do sometimes. It's like, I just want to make a decision about this. I just want this to be over. I need to change something really big. I will make this decision and then I could be done with this. But I think that's not working. Like, I think you could make the decision to do this, but I don't think it's giving you the relief it might have once given you. And it's because the relief wasn't based in something true. Does that make sense? It's like relief in something that wasn't like an actual foundation. I hope that makes sense. I want to get into the tarot, but I'm like so worried it's going to be like, and I'm not worried as in like, I just feel like I keep saying the same messages, and I'm like, I need some new material, Spirit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing. I want to like, I guess be innovative. Be innovative and talk about different things, but we'll see how it goes in the tarot. We'll see if I get the same messages coming through. I mean, and the other thing is that I do want to say, like, if because it's been continuing, like pile 1, I feel like has been on the same wavelength. We've been going through the same things, and it's not bad. I just, I think Spirit's trying to get into the deeper parts of this, and maybe that's part of like the storyline. I'm just having my own stuff come up of like, I'm just saying the same things, aren't I? Like, I feel like I need to like be more innovative, be more like creative or something. I don't know. It's just my own shit, obviously. Yes. Okay. Let's see what is going on with you. You feel something intuitively about reconnecting or celebrating, but I think it's reconnecting. What are you reconnecting with? You intuitively feel a reconnection happening. There's a conflict. And you're feeling disappointed around what? You feel like you don't have the ability to connect right now. Is that what it is? Because of something else? Because of, I'm seeing the Hierophant come out sideways. It's Taurus energy. Going really slow right now will help you, pal one. I'm getting just like this really need to like slow down. And I'm not saying you're moving fast, because I don't think you are. I think you are moving slowly. I'm saying like it's okay if you're moving slowly. Like do not beat yourself up about any of this. If you have any part of you that's like beating yourself up, like try to be like, please don't beat me up right now. We're going through a lot. Like, can you give me a break, please? Like, you know what I mean? What's this Hierophant on its side? The Nine of Cups. Okay. Why is there a conflict with reconnecting? Or in the future even, or you're intuitively, you're trying to make a judgment call on your wish fulfillment. Yeah, okay. What's the judgment on the wish fulfillment? This is in reverse. 9 of Wands in reverse. Yes, I love that. That's so good. You're trying to make a judgment call on how to release your wounding around, your wish fulfillment. 9 of Wands in reverse. This is really good. And you're triggered. That's what I was feeling. I was like, you're so triggered by this. I can't. Even, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. I do. I do know why. And I feel you like you might, I don't know. Hold on. Before I say that. What's the Five of Swords? The World and Strength. What's the World and Strength? King of Cups. You're trying to be emotionally strong while you feel really triggered. You want to make a judgment call, release your wounding around your wish fulfillment, whatever that may be. You're having a conflict around that because I'm feeling fear, afraid. What's this Five of Swords? You're trying to plan, but your triggers are getting in the way is what I'm seeing. It's around it could be around connection or something that you're thinking about moving into. You want to win, but you feel like you feel like your ego is breaking your own heart, or you feel like your ego is hurting. Yes, your ego definitely is hurting. I am getting that. What's the Lovers? Yeah, I feel like you want to win in this. What's actually, before I say that, I'm getting an interesting feeling from the Six of Wands. Yeah, you want to manifest a win here. So that's clear. I'm getting it's clear, but you may be doubting that too. So I'm getting like a clear feeling about that, but I'm also feeling a little bit of doubt on that one too. Because you're still trying to figure it out, which is fair. I feel like you're really working through some deep stuff here, pal one. I can't tell you. It's like you're working through a lot of deep feelings and fears around connections, around moving forward, around going after what you want. What is that? What does it look like? How do I do it? Am I really like, is this my trauma that's getting in the way? Is it my wounding that's getting in the way? Or is this not something I really want? Like, you're trying to figure that out. Okay, Ace of Cups. I'm seeing, okay, so Ace of Cups went over the Five of Swords. So bring love. Try to bring even just awareness. I think you have awareness of your triggers, but try to bring self-love to your triggers. Like, your triggers need to be heard, is what I'm hearing Spirit say. Need to be not honored as in like you need to listen to doing exactly what they're telling you, but there needs to be an honoring in why you feel triggered. Where is that coming from? And again, this is where like the 1 minute a day thing is helpful. Like, just for 1 minute a day, try to sit with yourself. I want you to think, I want you to recognize when you're triggered. I want you to, how do I say this? I want you to get into, what am I thinking? What am I feeling with my emotions? And what is my body feeling? I want you to take note. Just take note of what's happening. You don't have to do anything. Like, I think that doing anything right now could be too much. Even trying to bring love feels too overwhelming. That's just like a huge jump right now maybe for you, which is fair. Totally fair and understandable. So I want you just to be aware of it. Like, how is my body? What are the sensations coming up in my body? Is my heart racing? Do I feel numb? Do I feel, what's another one? Heart racing, body feels, is my body feeling activated? Am I shaking? Am I, you know what I mean? Like those types of feelings. where am I feeling it in my body? Is my throat hurting? Is my chest tight? Like that kind of thing. And then I also want you to mentally as well, take stock of like what your thoughts are saying exactly. And then I also want you to take stock of like what emotions are coming up around when you're triggered. Like what is the feeling you're feeling? And I just want you to name those, right? You don't have to bring love. I feel like bringing love is too much. Because I'm getting that call back to like maybe you have an ability to sit with yourself compassionately more than empathetically, and maybe that's okay. So there's another thing that I was thinking about, and what was I gonna say? Sometimes like girls, like women, not girls, women, whatever, girls and women, sometimes want a guy to resonate with their suffering, right? And if a guy's like compassionate, that can be triggering in some way, because maybe they had a parent that never could like resonate with them and feel it with them, right? And always were like taking a step back and, you know what I mean? Not really feeling what they're going through. Then you could have another type of thing where you don't want someone to empathize with you, because it's like, it's all about you. It's your emotions, right? Like, I don't want you to resonate with my suffering and cry yourself about your own stuff. Like, that doesn't feel good to me, because maybe you had a parent that always was emotional and always made it about them. And I don't know why that's coming through, but try to figure out which one, empathy or compassion, you can do with yourself. Which one feels more comfortable, and then try that approach instead. And if that's too much, then just being aware that it just, even journaling it can be helpful. Just sitting in just what's happening for 1 minute can be helpful. Because I feel like you're too triggered to go into like my whole of like, I bring totally too much compassion. Like I agree with that. Like I want you to bring compassion and empathy towards yourself as much as possible. But I'm also trying again to like get it into like more easily accessible things for you to understand. So like maybe you can help yourself in a better way than just more practically. Like it doesn't have to be so deep. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way I operate. I'm really like able to be deep and go there, but it took me a minute to even go deeper than I was going. And I think that there's another approach that I haven't really been accustomed to myself, but I'm also trying to be aware of, because I have been really connected to what you're going through. Like this pile, I feel like it's been a continuation of a story that I've been in. And I really want to actually do helpful things. I don't want to bring harm or even overwhelm you more than you already are overwhelmed. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense with this. I hope that this even helps. Okay. What's the advice? Ace of Wands. Okay. Ooh, there's another message coming through of like, pay attention to like what lights you up and what that feels like, and like sitting with that. You know what I mean? I think there's like a tandem needing to happen here of like just being aware, just being in with yourself, just being like, okay, what am I feeling? What's the sensations of this feeling? The Ace of Wands, which is a fire feeling, which is like, I want to go after it. I'm excited. I feel enlightened. Interesting. I wasn't meaning to say that. I feel excited, inspired, expansive. Like, what does that feel like in your body? Right? And getting connected to just even feeling that. Because I think that feeling the Ace of Wands, feeling your fire energy, for some reason triggers you. And so again, noticing, right? Like in the moment, do you feel really lit up? And then what happens right after? Right after like the engagement is done, or you move away from it, or you know, because I feel like in the moment you feel really excited, and then maybe afterward you have like a falling off, like a criticism part come up, or like a projector part come up, and being like, you can't be feeling that, like this is dangerous almost. And so I again, this is like really going back to some childhood stuff of like, or even just past events, like past relationships of like, every time I used my passion, every time I stood in my power or my fire, or I desired something really, really bad happened. And again, like to even get to the point where you can get into that, like that type of trauma, this, like the smaller steps I feel like need to happen. And again, that's a daily thing that you can practice. And again, I was trying to figure it out, because I'm like, God, I don't know how to help you. And I want to help you so much. And I want to help you effectively, not just the way I get helped. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's 7 of Swords around your Knight of Wands. So 7 of Swords around your Knight of Wands, it's like, okay, you could have experienced a partner that just used you for sex. You could have experienced someone shaming you for being in your fire energy. Anytime you used your passion, it ended up in wreckage and loss. And there's a protection, because Seven of Swords is inherently trying to protect oneself from feeling in some way, from further disappointments, from further hurts. But there's a deeper layer here, which I've talked about, which is there's a deeper layer here about, oh gosh, how do I say this? There's a deeper layer here about how you show up and how that hurts you. Yes, there's a deeper layer here. And so again, if you can find the wise little nuggets, right, of what happened to you when you were in your fire energy, if you can see what happened, that just inherently brings compassion, because you see that, once you really look at it, like it shows you why you feel this way, and why there's so much complication, and why there's so much of a storm happening, and why this is going on. It brings awareness. Again, I think the most important thing here is just being aware of like what your thoughts are doing, what your feelings are doing, what your body's doing, and just trying to just be aware. And also I'm getting this feeling again of like going up into the mind. You have a tendency to like be in your thoughts, right? Because if we're in our thoughts, what are we not doing? We're not feeling. And so that's why even getting connected to your body sensations without your mind involved, like just try to like be like, mind, I need you to chill. I just want to see what's actually like going on and feel what's actually going on, without making an assumption about it. Like, can you just sit in the feelings of it? Because it's like the feelings of it is where it's hard for you to get connected to. And so like, again, that's why your mind's racing, because it's like trying to get you to what? Not look at the pain, not feel the pain. It's trying to bring you up here. It's trying to get you to figure it out, whatever, up here. It's just an avoidance of pain. And it's because, again, you've deemed pain to be unsafe, which almost every single person in the world does, because it is unsafe, right? And so and reminding yourself that you are safe, and just keep reminding yourself, I'm safe. Like I am safe. I am in my body right now. I'm in this room. I'm use your 5 senses, like name 5 things that are white. Like my therapist used to do that with me after EMDR, and it was so hard for me to do. Like I was like, I don't remember what a candle is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't come up with a word because I was so disassociated, right? And you may be also experiencing some disassociation. Okay, what's the advice? Ace of Wands. I got really into it. Okay. I wanted to get away from the relationships, because I feel like there's a tendency to go external with this, because if you can externally fix it, maybe you'll internally feel better. And I know that seems like the answer to your brain, but the actual answer here is to go internal instead of external. But internal to you feels too much. So that's why like the smaller baby steps can help. And what's the Knight of Pentacles? Yeah, this is like, realize you've been moving slowly because you're trying to protect yourself. And like, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It is okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, make it okay with yourself. Like, I think this is a lot of trying to reconcile with yourself about like what's really going on. Why am I really feeling like this? Why am I feeling so hurt? Why am I like internally feeling off? You know what I mean? And again, it's like your pain is being awakened because you're being awakened, and that pain is coming up like sediment to be released. It's just really overwhelming for you. I feel like maybe you've kind of shut your feelings off in the past, which I've done too. So like, again, there's no judgment here. Like, I don't want you to judge yourself for any of this. Yeah. And this is a being stuck in the mind. Yeah. Like you feel trapped because your mind is feeling trapped. Genuinely, like if you feel actually trapped, and I want you to validate that why you feel trapped, because I think that the why of this is what's going to help you the most. And I know that it's hard to get near the why because it's so painful, right? That's part of it. Advice. Page of Wands. Okay, what's the advice? Temperance. Yeah, go slow. Moderation is the key. And what's this King of Swords really quick? This is the only card that came out? No, there's a King and Queen of Swords here. Okay. This is also like to help you release past burdens. Like this process is not just about a relationship. This process is about the relationship with yourself. This process is about unburdening yourself from all the pain and trauma that you've ever had. And that's why I want you to know how meaningful this is and why it's so hard to look at. And I want you to commend yourself for getting as far as you have. And I also want you not to be so hard on yourself about what's going on. This is like, none of this is your fault. Like, and I think there's a tendency to blame yourself for this. Like, if I was just this, then this wouldn't be happening. If I wasn't just that, then this wouldn't be happening. If I hadn't done that, and maybe if I do this, you know, it's not about what you've done. It's about how you're feeling internally. And what this is meant to help you feel better internally. This is, again, I want to get clear. This can be about going after a relationship eventually, or being able to open up eventually and being able to move eventually. Yes, okay, that's part of it. But what's the deeper thing that's here is that this is about you. This is about how you feel internally. This is about your internal world. This is about your internal world kind of going through this crazy, weird collapse that you can't make sense of, that you don't know why it's happening, that you're like, what is going on? And it's meant to help you release the burdens and release your wounding. And when you release your burdens and when you release your wounding, you can fly. And it's like, this is not about flying for anybody else. And this is about your own self. This is about your own heart. This is about your own love. This is about realizing that what happened to you before in the past that was so painful was not your fault. And I know that can be hard to see, and you may be blaming yourself all over the place. But that blame is self-protection. Okay, so you want me to go into this. So how much do you want me to go in this? Okay. So yesterday, I'm gonna disassociate, of course. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with that. I know where I was going. Oh my god. So I had a trauma flashback happen, but I hadn't seen it before until like 2 days ago. I don't know if I can go here, guys. I might actually not be able to do it. Okay, can you help me, Spirit? Blame. We're talking about blame. I need to write that down, because if I don't, I'm going to forget it, because I'm disassociating for my own stuff. Okay, blame. Oh, okay. So I was abused by 2 different family members, and the second one I just remembered yesterday. And not great. Like, I'm talking about the worst abuse. Well, in my opinion, but the most pervasive, not the worst, because I mean, abuse can be really bad on all fronts, but mine was really pervasive and really affected my self-worth. The first abuse, I attributed it to, it might not be me, right? Like, I might not be to blame for this abuse because it was just one person happening to. When the second abuse happened, it made me feel like, because it happened with the second person, that it was me. Like, I was to blame. And because I was a child, I didn't have the ability to see that it wasn't my fault, right? I was talking to my inner child yesterday, and I'm like, okay, why do you feel like why do you need to hold on to feeling like you're to blame for this thing that happened to you? And she said, because if I'm not to blame, then they didn't love me, and that means I'm unlovable. Now, obviously, I know that's not true, like, as an adult, right? Like, we know that now, but there's this part inside of me that still believes she's to blame, but she's doing it out of a place of safety, right? Like, she's trying to achieve safety, because if it's me, then I can change, and I can fucking fix it, and I can prevent it in the future, and I can prove my worth, and you know what I mean? And I had this huge epiphany yesterday of like, wow, this is like actually not my fault, you know? And I couldn't even explain it like as an adult to my inner child, because she just could not understand how it could be about them. So I had to really break it down. Like, I'm talking like I even tried reading to her about, like, you know, the thing I would say to her, but like, you know, she didn't get it. She didn't understand how they didn't love her. Like, they couldn't love her. She couldn't understand that concept, how it wasn't her fault. She could not understand. Like, genuinely, cognitively, I could feel the disassociation. I could feel like she couldn't grasp. She literally couldn't do it. And so I brought it to her, like, really simply. And I was like, I gave her a metaphor, but the metaphor, the metaphor was like a thirsty person can't give you water like a full river can. And I also told her that they were empty of love. Like they literally didn't have it to give in the first place. So it wasn't that she was unworthy because she didn't, they didn't give it to her. They literally had nothing to give. And that was how I found I could help her understand. Because the thing is, with all this stuff, your subconscious, everything, images and our subconscious responds to images and to symbols way more than it responds to like analyzing, reasoning. Like our subconscious does not work that way. So you're trying to logically, with the King of Swords, work this out analytically. And it's not something you can do analytically. Like if you're trying to heal your subconscious and you're trying to work on healing, and analyzing and staying up cognitively cannot help you here. It's about getting really simple and using a creative way to, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm trying to explain this to you, but I don't know if it's going to help you because I feel like it's so hard to explain. It's so hard for me to even still do the work that I need to do subconsciously because it's so complicated. And I also have this tendency to go up in my head and really want to analyze it and really want to get, you know what I mean? I do that too. And so I had a breakthrough yesterday because I've taken a lot of time. Like I'm talking about those 1 minutes for like 5 years. Like it's taken me a long time to get to this point. And I'm not saying it will take you 5 years because you're far into this, way more than that. Like I don't want you to think it's going to take 5 years because I do not get that from Spirit at all. It's just, this is really some serious subconscious things that are happening within you, and you're feeling overwhelmed. Your nervous system's overwhelmed. You're going to protection defense mode, which is totally understandable because you're touching on your deepest core wounds here. And I want to convey how big this is. Like, that's why this is so hard for you to go through, because you're touching on things that are like the deepest, most painful things we've been through in our lives. And when you do that, like you feel like your mind's going to explode. Like I can't tell you, like it's so hard. Like I can't even get into how hard it is to do this work and how hard it's been for me and how hard I know that it's been for other people. And the depth to which my trauma goes is far. And I think that, I'm not saying that you have that same depth, but I am like seeing a lot of just a similarity of like the grief that's asking to be seen and felt, and like how much defense mechanisms are coming up around it. Like I totally have that too. Like I have 100% defense mechanisms that have hurt me. And also getting into like the defense mechanisms and the behaviors that we do, even being aware of your behaviors can be very helpful. Like, okay, not shaming yourself for the behavior, but looking at why the behavior exists. Like the behavior can really point you to like what's actually underneath it. Does that make sense? Like, what's a good example of this? Like, someone drinking, right? They're drinking because they're trying to numb the pain that they're feeling internally, right? But what we do is we look at the behavior and we're trying to change the behavior, and we're not looking at the like deeper reason why the behavior is existing. And to stop the behavior, yes, you can stop the behavior sometimes with just willpower, but a lot of the times, especially if you have trauma, it's not just that. It's not that simple. And again, this stuff is like so complex that it's hard for me to explain. And also, I want to say I'm like really proud of myself, and also thank you, Spirit, because I feel like this message is so meaningful. And I really appreciate that I can be vulnerable and say what's going on with me. And I have a hard time doing that still, you know? Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm like putting my deep, most vulnerable things on here. And that's how I got hurt before, right? And it's just like a practice. And I think that you're trying to figure out what's going on, how to show up for yourself the best. And I think you're doing a pretty great job for where you're at. And so does Spirit. Okay, I want to get some final advice. Okay. Which ones do you want? These? No. Yeah? You're going to get through this, pal one. You are. And I'm here with you, you know? And yesterday I felt like I was like looking at my reading and I'm like, oh God, I had such a hard day yesterday. And I could see I was trying to protect myself in the reading. Like I could see the harshness and I'm like, oh God, I'm doing the thing again. You know what I mean? But I'm like trying to protect myself and not even consciously aware of it. And I'm not saying that my reading was wrong. I think my reading was fine. It's just, you know, I can see in my own self, like where I was trying to protect myself. And it's like, just like in like the way I'm speaking, more like the way I'm speaking, not about what I'm speaking, more like just the way, the cadence, the tone. And so I just want to be, I was like, I'm trying to be aware of that because I want to help and I really want to help. And I don't think I'm harming, obviously. I just don't want to, I want to be as, I want to be what you need because I need to be that for myself. Does that make sense? Like I'm trying to be that for me. And so since I'm trying to be that for me, I can try to be that for you too. And that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Okay. Like that makes me emotional because it's true. Any final advice for pal one? Knowledge and distrust. Yeah. I think that like there's a distrust in some type of knowledge, you know, what people have said, distrust in how they've acted. Like this, to me, a lot of your wounding centers around like what other people have done. That's why I'm like, I don't want you to blame yourself, you know, for like what's happening, because I feel like you may be blaming yourself for not being able to move forward or what's going on with you or how you feel. And it's like, no, this is just stuff that's coming up because you went through some really hard things and other people really hurt you. And you have a understandable distrust of knowledge in general because of the way people have used it against you. Yes. Yes, and I think that there is the worry. We got perfectionism and burnout. Like, again, I think Spirit's saying, like, take a break. You don't have to figure this all out in one day. Like, this is not something you're going to figure out in one day. This is something that takes time. And I want you to give yourself that time, even if you feel pressured to not. Because I feel like I'm not saying there's someone pressuring you, but there is a energy that I feel is pressuring. Maybe there is someone pressuring you. I don't know. Yes, you're trying to take control. A catalyst, radical changes in taking control. This is a catalyst. You are literally got catalyzed. That's not a word. Most like in the recent, like I would say very recently, something was a catalyst for you. Yes, it's like you're trying, the miser, stubbornness and flexibility, and the assassin, ruthlessness and conviction. It's like you've had to be stubborn about your safety because other people have not prioritized your safety. And so that's why you're really protective of yourself. And also the assassin, like people have been ruthless with you and you might have been ruthless with yourself because of it. And you might be a person that's like able to like really like work yourself to the bone and like still keep going. And Spirit doesn't want that for you. And I don't think you want that for yourself anymore. And so I think you're looking at a lot of, like, again, this is very deep stuff we're talking about here, pal one. And I know that there's a relationship connected to it because I kept channeling a relationship and that's helpful. It can be helpful, but I do feel like this is way more internal than, and I want to get out of like I'm not saying I won't channel that. Like if I feel called, I feel like it needs to be more, I need to get more internal with you, not external. The Sentinel, determination and certainty. Yeah, like you have determination and certainty that you're gonna get through this. I don't want you to put expectations on yourself about timing, about where you're going, about what you're doing. Expectations are part of self-protection here. Like if you expect that you're going to be ready in 2 months, it's only because your brain's trying to get out of feeling out of pain and trying to give you like and that can be helpful. Like saying, hey, like in 2 months, we're going to be fine. That can be helpful to get you through the moment. But then there's this other, the darker side of that, which can be, if I don't do this in 2 months, then that means I'm going to fall apart. Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? There's two sides to the same coin on having determination and certainty. And I don't know which one you're doing, but I do want to call attention to like the fact that like, you don't have to be certain right now. You can say, I don't know. And that can be okay. Like it is a full sentence. I don't know. Just like no is. And just like yes is. Like I don't know right now, and that's okay. And can it be okay? Because it is okay. It is okay that you don't know, and it's okay that you don't have any certainty right now. And I think that's part of it. It's like Spirit doesn't want you to have certainty, because when we're certain, we can't. It's part of our growth to feel uncertain. Like when I went through a really bad toxic relationship, like I was completely. I am like not a person that is cool with uncertainty. Like I want things to be certain because I feel so much safer. And it was the most roller coaster of a freaking ride. And I felt so uncertain. But in that uncertainty is when I connected to myself and I found my own strength. And in that uncertainty, it kind of, how do I explain this? It kind of prepped me for unpredictable things that could happen in the future. Like I don't feel so scared about something uncertain happening or something bad happening. Like I'm like, you know what? Like I know how to deal with uncertainty because I've dealt with it before, and I think that you're going through an uncertain time to gain the same awareness. It's like right now you can't be certain, and that's part of the lesson. And again, this is like a huge, and I don't want to be like lesson as in like it's happening to you for sure, like it's a lesson. It's not like that. It's again, it's not about the external world. It's not about even your guides. Like this is about your own self and your own internal world having relief. That's what this is about. Gaining relief and peace for yourself in uncertain times. And in anything you ever want to go through or have to go through, this is about being able to handle that, being able to build that kind of inner strength that you need to move through this. And I can't tell you, Pile One, I feel so connected to your pile. And it's definitely like almost like, it's a little bit like almost like the opposite of what I went through. Like I was more like impulsive and like really went after things that were not healthy for me, and very like, and I'm not saying that you don't do that, but I am saying like my fire energy was overactive in an unhealthy way to try to get something I needed, which I wasn't getting internally, right? Yours is more, I'm avoiding fire at all costs because I've been hurt by fire. So it's like the two sides of the same coin. I'm the opposite side of the coin. And so I feel very connected to you because well, first of all, it's just like amazing that who you are and you're going through this, and this is something that you are trying to achieve and trying to heal. And also I resonate with your pain. I empathize with you, and I also have compassion. I feel both for you. And I'm just trying to make sure I can show up in the best way I can for you to help you through this, because you totally deserve it. You totally deserve it. Like I can't tell you enough. Like I can't tell you enough. You totally deserve this, in the way of like, I think what is so beautiful about this when you get to the other side is that you will have relief, that you will feel healed, that you will feel, and I'm not saying you will feel healed like all the time. You'll have stuff happen, sure, but there will be an internal strength and a power to you that you do not have or did not have in the past. And I'm not saying you're not strong. I'm just saying like this is like an extra, it's a deeper type of strength. Like there's again, we go back to wise salt, right? It's like wise salt is only attained by it's wise salt and wisdom cannot be attained by any other means than decades of pain and pleasure. Like this is part of you becoming like wise, and I know it sucks. Like I don't want to like not say how much this sucks, because I understand it's like trial through fire again, and you're like, I don't want to touch the fire, right? Like so it's like even harder, right? Because I feel like you're going through a trial by fire, and you are not accustomed to being in that type of fire. Like this is the fire that burned you before. So it's like, of course, that's why this is so complex and painful, because you're like, I've been burned by fire before. Like, why am I going through this trial by fire? And it's to get you to be okay with your own fire, and also to help you understand what other people's fire is and how they are using it, and if it's healthy or not healthy. This will also help you with your discernment of others. Like this is so deep. I can't tell you, Pal One. This is like the deepest thing I've channeled in my entire experience ever. Besides my own stuff, obviously, but you know what I mean. That's different. Like that's different. Pal One, I am so proud of you. Keep going. You've got this, and I love you so much. I can't tell you how much I love you, and you will get through this. And I hope anything I have, even just one thing, I hope it helps. Okay, and I love you. Okay, I'm What do I just say at the end? Thank you so much, Pal One, and I will see you next time. I don't know why I totally lost that, but I'll see you next time. I love you. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So today we're doing a pick a card on the most important message for you right now. You pick the card Ash. We also have the Lover, the Riddle, the Vow, the Kiss, Magic Stream, Follow Leader, and Goblins. Okay, Pal 2. I feel like, I don't know if recently you went through something really hard or what I saw when I tapped in for a vision of you was that you were just standing amongst all this ash, like something had ended, something had crumbled around you. And I feel like you were just kind of like taking stock of it. And I also just felt like this devastation that you were feeling. And I don't know if this is something you're reflecting on that happened recently or if it's something that just happened. But I feel like I'm catching you almost in a transition phase. And because I started seeing things start to grow in the ash. It's almost like there was a need for like a clearing. There was a need for clearing some type of structure or person or investment that you had that was like not a healthy place for you to grow. I feel like for a lot of you, it could be a relationship that like came to an end. But I also am getting like this feeling of like this internal ash as well. Like whatever the situation did, it kind of, I'm hearing brought you to your knees, but you had to really go internal and create a foundation for yourself because the foundation on the outside of you in some way was something that just kept bringing tower moments in your life. Like I was like, this has been a long process for you of just like tower after tower after tower after tower. And it seems like it revolved around your Page of Cups energy. So your innocent, creative, spontaneous energy. Even your inner child, right? It doesn't have to be inner child, but I'm getting like wherever you kind of like gave with your utmost, I'm getting like the feeling like you gave with your utmost purity, your utmost love. You tried so hard to collaborate with whatever this situation was. And I think it, again, I keep hearing it brought you to your knees. And I do feel like this strength within you, that you had to have to get through this. And maybe you never experienced, whatever this was happen, or if you did experience it, it hit you in a way that, it hit you in a way that like you hadn't been experienced in a long time, maybe since childhood or ever. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. And I get that it was like this riddle that you were trying to figure out. It's like you couldn't balance with it, or every single time you tried something went wrong, or like this person wasn't cooperating with you. I am getting like some of you, it could have been a person that was like really hurting you in a relationship. And because we have the Lover, the Vow, and the Kiss, which is all relationship energy to me. And I think that what I'm seeing for you is that through this devastation, you found a vow and you made a vow to yourself. And I am getting that there may be fear in going for a situation again. Like there's fear and apprehension about putting yourself out there, which is totally understandable after what you've been through. I'm just getting the sense like I need to take some time for myself. I went through something really hard, and I need some time is what I'm hearing. This could have really wrapped you up. Like I can't tell you. It's giving really entangling energy. So like whatever you were dealing with was very entangled with you, or really wanted to be enmeshed with you. I'm getting an enmeshment feeling. And I think you had to really figure it out. I think it took you a long time to try to figure it out. I'm seeing the Temperance card. So this could have been a very long process for you of just like trying to figure out what's going on, trying to heal, trying to just kind of like figure out what was going on and why things just kept ending like this, like, or this situation just ended so painfully, and what you had to go through to get here and why that is, right? And I do feel like you're connecting to the why in a higher way. Like I feel like you're seeing like how strong you are now. I feel like you're seeing how far you've come. I feel like you're connecting to being a leader now. Like you've learned something really integral in this situation. And I think it put you on a better path. And this better path is just like so much better. But I do want to honor the pain that I was feeling and seeing of you dealing with this. And you could have felt like you were just like in a box the whole time, like just trying to get out. Like I'm getting really intense imagery of like someone like going up on a glass and like banging, like trying to get out of a really sticky situation. And I do think for some of you it was a relationship of some type. And yeah, I just keep seeing you like standing around the ash and just being like, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe that it happened to me. I can't believe this stuff has happened to me. And it could be about a recent situation, but I'm also getting it could be about everything. It's kind of like this reckoning I'm feeling and a breakthrough of, wow, like I've been through really extreme, intense, challenging things. And I think you're coming to the realization that it wasn't your fault. And because I'm getting like you are a very kind, loving person that would never bring about this type of devastation on your own. You know what I mean? Like you want safety and connection and have done a lot of work on that. And I think that whatever you or whoever you were dealing with, again, I keep hearing brought you to your knees. I mean, it's amazing. I just keep hearing that phrase coming through so much. And again, this could have really activated some of your trauma from when you were younger, and also could have really just activated the voices inside your head that tell you you're not good enough, that tell you that you're powerless, that tell you that you're trapped. And I think you really had, I'm seeing like follow leader, I'm seeing like you having to like follow the hardest path. Wow, it keeps going blurry. That's so interesting. I'm seeing you have to really follow the hardest path. Like this path was like winding and like you had a blindfold on. Like that's how it's giving like energy like that. Like where you had a blindfold on, there was an extreme windy road and there was cliffs on each side and you had to literally like, you were almost falling off like at every point because you were blinded. And I'm getting this imagery of like, you might have ignored your intuition through this situation, but I'm getting you had to kind of close your intuition down to survive. And now I see you along that windy path, like your intuition was what was leading you through, but it was so hidden and so dark that you couldn't quite get there. You could get there, but it was like, took a lot of time and a lot of thinking and a lot of feeling and a lot of processing in it. And I'm seeing like boulders on the road popping up out of nowhere. And it's like, it's like really that, like and I think the intensity that I'm being shown is to point to the intensity to which this situation hurt you. And I think that you're trying to move forward. And I also feel that there's grief here that you're trying to process as well. And I think that that's really complex. And I think that this is a very complex time, but I do feel like you're out of it. I feel like you got to the end. It's in the ash. It's in the rubble. You finally figured it out. Like I'm getting you figured out. You had a breakthrough with this riddle. I'm seeing the Ace of Swords. And again, I'm just getting like this feeling of like things were not clear. And I do feel like someone might have been purposely making things not clear for you, but I also think that you also had to survive by shutting down your intuition. And again, I do feel like you learned discernment through whatever this was because you had to be so tuned in to just move forward. Like, and I'm getting this feeling of like moving forward was like almost impossible. Like, I can't tell you, like, it's like so clear. Like I couldn't move forward. It was almost impossible. I had to like take like the fucking tiniest steps. It took me everything in me to take one baby step. And you just crawl, like crawling, just grueling. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's so big. It's so big because challenges like this, paths like this, when you have a path that's this intense and this painful and this blurry and this confusing, it usually means there's a really big purpose on why. And I know that what I'm feeling most for this is that it was about getting connected to how to create a foundation that was not based on external things. So this was about you creating that foundation within yourself and realizing that even if things fall apart on the outside of you, they don't fall apart on the inside. And maybe for a while, things were falling apart on the inside, but they were things that needed to go. And I'm getting that you had to go through this path, this really grueling path to get a connection to you, to also get a connection to you, yes, but to clear any kind of foundations within you that were not serving you and that were made from other people. Like you might have as a child had a lot of people like telling you what to do or how to move or how to act and then like making you like, I'm getting like a dangerous feeling. So you might have had a really dangerous childhood. I did. So I know exactly what that feels like. And this path might have been to help you get out of, I'm hearing lack mindset, but it's way deeper than that. It's like to get you to clear the trauma that was from your childhood is what I'm getting, like a dangerous childhood. And it doesn't have to be dangerous, but a lot of you, it might not resonate with you, but a lot of you, I feel like, have been through a very difficult childhood. And I think this path, this horrible, grueling path that was like the most painful thing to go through, was really connecting you back to that original wound. And that original wound was needing to be healed, right? Because I think that the reason maybe you got into a situation like this was because of that previous trauma. That's what happens. We usually have situations that trigger our trauma so that we can heal it. But again, this is so much deeper than that. Because the depths to which I feel you had to go to get out of this situation were the deepest things. I can't even tell you. Like, the deepest parts of the human psyche. Like, that's what I'm feeling. That's how big this is. And if you're going through this right now, then that's what it's for. And I think the most important message for you right now is that you went through something extremely difficult, grueling, challenging, one of the hardest paths to follow. I'm getting like a confirmation from Spirit that, like, and even if you don't believe this, I believe this, but I'm just going to say what Spirit's saying. Your soul chose to go through this because you wanted to, like, evolution, like you wanted to I'm like, it's not enlightenment. It's like, how do I explain this, Spirit? I want to explain it in the right way. Your soul chose this path. I'm hearing to be a guide to others, but more than that, it was about getting so deep within the human self and the human mind and breaking it down so much so that you could help others do the same. And I can't believe it's blurring so much. I think that's really interesting. It usually doesn't do this. I mean, it might be because I'm moving so much, but I don't think so. You had to get into very deep, because the deeper you can go with yourself, the deeper you can go with others. But I don't think it's about others as much as it's about you. And I think that you were seeking, I keep hearing enlightenment, but seeking a deeper awareness of the human condition. Like, that's kind of the energy I'm getting from your soul. But it's deeper than that. Like, I can't find the words. Like, it makes me emotional. I can't find the words to convey how big this is. How again, I just want to, Spirit wants you to honor, like, it wants me to honor you and how far you've come and how challenging this was and how you are finally breaking through. And you've been breaking through this whole time. It's just, I don't think you've been able to see it. That was part of it too. It's like you had to have unwavering belief in something other than yourself and yourself. So you might have been really connected, trying to get more connected to spirituality, because I'm getting this like higher awareness of like why you had to go through this and what kind of things you had to rely on and how you're trying to emotionally regulate and what things bring you joy. And like, I think this was like about discovering yourself for the first time in a different way outside of what people think of you. And you might have had someone genuinely like on the outside of you projecting their own stuff on you and making you feel bad about yourself and bringing up all this trauma that you have. Oh gosh, I was going to go with that. I hate that it keeps blurring. It's annoying me. I hate when I lose my train of thought. Yeah, you might have had someone on the outside of you trying to project their stuff onto you, and you might have had your own stuff come up in tandem, but then I'm seeing you reach something else. Once you were able to like see why you were like, what was really going on with the person, and then you were getting internal. I see you go really internal and looking at everything and really like trying to be curious and open instead of judgmental, because you might have been judging yourself for a long time with this. You're trying to get really open with what was going on internally. And then when you got open with what was going on internally, you saw what was really going on within you. And that was a huge, long process. I'm talking like it's a long time of getting deep within and like, you know, uncovering the trauma layers and the pain layers. It doesn't have to be trauma, but pain layers. And once you're like looking at that and healing that, once you finally brought awareness and kept bringing awareness, like these were small awareness steps. I'm not saying you do like a big, huge awareness. You might have had moments where it was like that over a period of time, but I'm seeing like small amounts of, I'm hearing ownership. Interesting. Ownership and an understanding of what actually happened when you were younger and in the past and what your pain was really about and what was really going on. and then you were looking at it and healing it. And then I'm also seeing there's a deeper layer that you're actually discovering underneath the pain, which is who you really are, like what you really love, what you really want to achieve. It's so beautiful. I can't. It's so beautiful. And it's beautiful because it was birthed out of pain. And it's beautiful because you found like who you really are, and not what your wounding was telling you. And it's just so, I can't tell you how beautiful it is. And again, and it was I'm getting reminded of how one's wise salt. It's like, and the pearl, it's like you went through a like wise salt is wisdom can only be attained by decades of pain and pleasure. And with a pearl, right, there's one grain of sand that like literally over a long period of time creates this pearl, or helps create this pearl. And it's so beautiful, right? Because it's been through such a grueling, gritty process. And again, this is like that process, but it was in it's like human process, right? Like you're dealing with a extremely uncomfortable situation for a very long time, and consistently not ever giving up on yourself. And that's why it's so beautiful, because you didn't give up, and because I can see you're finally feeling like you're on the other side. And that makes me feel so happy that you are, and proud of you for how far you've come. Yeah. And I just think it's been really hard. And I just want to convey this way to you, because Spirit really wants you to know, without a shadow of a doubt, like, we see you, we see your pain, we're honoring you, and what you have done, most humans never achieve in multiple lifetimes. Like, that's how big this is. And I want you to give yourself that understanding, because I think that could even help you even more. But I do feel this sense of strength, this deep strength that might have been hidden from you from your whole life. It was always there, but it was buried beneath all this other wounding that you couldn't get to that strength. And it's like you went through the wounding, and you're going through the wounding even now, and you're still processing, and you're still figuring it out. But I am seeing the seed of your strength. The thing that was there the whole time, that's there. And it's way bigger than you thought it was. And again, you had to gain strength by figuring this riddle out, by going through this ash process, by dealing with other people. Maybe I feel like a lot of you, it's a relationship that you went through, like a really extreme situation with someone. And if it's not that, then there was an extreme situation over a longer period of time that really hurt you, that really kept bringing tower moments to you, but that you really had to figure out how to dismantle. And it was something you were attached to too. So like, it's not something that would be easy to break apart. And I'm seeing the devil. And so it would be attached to your fears, or attached to your wounding. It would be something you would be giving external power to remain safe. And I think that thing on the outside was unsafe. And so you had to go and create internal safety, because you felt so unsafe, right? And again, that is not something that there's no map, there's no guidebook, there's no one telling you how to do it. Maybe you have some advice here and there. Maybe your spirit guides can help. Of course, spirit guides help us a lot. But I'm getting the blindfold, and you're on this path, and it's winding, and there's boulders everywhere, and you're on a cliff, and you're like literally like taking, I can't even tell you, like the tiniest steps, the tiniest babyest steps just to get there. And you didn't give up. And it was in the not giving up that was the most important thing. I'm sorry I'm getting so emotional. It's just like, it's so big. I can't get over how big this is. And it's just so wonderful to see. And I'm also really happy that like you're getting out on the other side of this really hard situation, because like I'm really proud of you, and so are your guides. Okay, I want to get into the tarot. I've cried so much. And again, I think this is like you're going so deep with yourself that you can go deep with others. And maybe you don't feel ready for that yet, and that's okay. Like, you've just been through something really hard. There's the devil in the Four of Wands. That's what I'm saying. It was around a relationship or a structure that you were investing in, that you were trying to find safety in, that was not safe. It might have felt safe in the beginning. It might have felt safe at first. But it's not feeling safe now, and it definitely didn't really feel safe. It just was the illusion of safety, right? And I think you had to, again, that's why it was a riddle. It's like, this should be safe. Why am I not feeling safe? This looks safe, but it doesn't feel safe. And I don't even know if this situation they could be acting like they're safe, but like, and they could be really good at it. And again, this is where your discernment had to come online. But again, I am feeling like you had to shut off your intuition for a hot minute to survive. Like you went into survival mode over this is what I'm feeling. Yeah. And it could have been around a role, but it's more about your belief systems, I think, you know, and what we feel like we should be doing to be accepted by others, how we view ourselves, you know, and what we believe to be true about ourselves is not actually the truth. Like the devil is never based in truth. It's always based in illusions and fear and attachment, right? Attachment wounding. And this could have really gotten you in connection with your attachment wounding. Yes. Yeah. 7 of Swords around the Hierophant. Yeah. It's like you had to work through a lot of internal self-deception, but I think that you worked through it because there was someone on the outside of you that was in this external deception with you. And you could feel that, but that also got you connected to the way you deceive yourself. And like the way you deceived yourself was by telling yourself you weren't good enough, by always believing like that this would work out. Right. And it's like you had to come to terms, not with just something outside of you, but you have more than that had to come to terms with something within you to actually be able to do something on the outside of you. Okay, let me see what's going on. I'm like so proud of you. Yes. And it's like you thought this person was your wish fulfillment. Like it's on the Lover card. It's 9 of Cups in reverse. You thought that you would be emotionally fulfilled by this person. You thought this was your wish fulfillment. You thought that your wish fulfillment and your ability to be okay was dependent on another person. And I have no judgment for you because I've been through this. So like, I'm not judging you. And you would know this and you'd be like, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I realized that they weren't my wish fulfillment, that I just thought they were, that I thought that if I just gave enough, if I just gave enough, that if I just showed up perfectly, that if I just gave everything I ever had, then it would work out. And then you were like left with just yourself. And you're like, I went all the way, and I mean, maybe you didn't, but I'm just riffing. I mean, I'm not riffing, but I'm just like going with the line, you know, going with what I'm hearing. I don't know why I had that happen right now where I went, what was I saying? Yeah, maybe you had to go all the way into something you didn't want to realize that it wasn't what you wanted. And maybe you had to give it all. Maybe that's what was, okay, that's what I was saying. Yeah, because I wrote in my community tab about my inner child. I let my inner child go all the way to see like that she really didn't actually want this, or this really actually wasn't helpful, and this actually wasn't really what she needed. And then once we got to that point, then it was like, okay, this is not working actually. I can't find my happiness and my safety within another person. I'm literally have always been let down, and it's never changing, and it's not changed. And I can't keep doing this to myself anymore. I have to just start. It's not even a have to. I want to, and I need to, and I am now relying on myself only. And that's what you're getting from this, because you had, again, I'm feeling like you had to build internal safety, but you might have had to go all the way into this cycle, which was extremely overwhelming and very uncomfortable. Like 9 of Cups in reverse with 10 of Wands. Are you kidding me? It's like the ultimate not wish fulfillment. It's like the opposite of your wish fulfillment at its most high and the most overwhelming that you could ever feel. Oh my gosh. Pile 2. That's why I'm like, I feel like you're not ready to like open up to anyone, because you just been through something so painful. Like I can't tell you. Okay, can I see? Okay. The Devil. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's the Devil? 2 of Swords. And the Hermit. The Devil was that, see, the Devil it was telling you this. I'll just make it about a situation. The Devil was saying, you want this. This is your wish fulfillment. You know, it could even be saying you could never find anyone else, or this person's your soulmate, or this is, if you just keep going and give everything you have, like overwhelmed, like this is like you giving all maximum effort. If you just give everything you ever have, you will finally get to what you want. But the Devil is the carrot in front of your face. And it's like you were in this indecision about this, and thinking that if you put everything that you have inside, if you just gave everything of yourself, and then maybe it would be what you want, and you wouldn't be indecisive, and maybe it would be your wish fulfillment. Maybe they would change. Maybe they would show up. Maybe they would be better. And, or like whatever the situation was, like maybe the situation will finally be able to be what I want. And this, like, it's interesting. Okay, you want me to go here? So I talked about this in Pal 1, but I had a flashback. Okay, so I was abused by 2 people when I was a kid, and it was very pervasive essay. And the first time it happened to me when I was a kid was, how do I say this? The first time it happened to me, as a child, right? You're a child, so you're not cognitively like the way we are now. We're not adults yet, so we don't have the ability to cognitively understand everything that's going on, which is why a lot of this stuff gets stuck in our bodies and in our minds. And that's why we were all in a place of pain, because a lot of things that happened when we were younger, like, stick with us because we weren't able to cognitively process what happened to us, especially if it was extremely traumatic. And I'm getting that you might have had something similar. It doesn't have to be exact, but I do feel like the level to which I'm talking about is similar to the level that you could have experienced. And if not, then this situation was like that, and because like definitely the situation was like that, and you could have had a past situation not in your childhood that looked like this too. But either way, there was 2 situations I feel like for you, but definitely a recent situation. Okay, so I was a child. I had the first person that did it to me. I was saying like, maybe it's a form of love, right? Like maybe this is not bad. Even though my body's telling me it's bad, I'm not being told that this is bad. I just feel horror. I feel disgusted and, horrible. And like thinking to myself, like, maybe it's not me. Like, maybe it's not my fault. Maybe it's just, this is a form of love, right? Horrible, I know. And then with this second person, when the second person happened at like 7 or 8, because it was happening to me at home, like all the time. And then when it happened at 7 or 8 by a different person in the family, my inner child went, it must be you. Like, if you were good enough, then, I'm sorry, I'm getting so upset. If you were good enough, then this wouldn't have happened to you. If you were lovable and worthy, then no one would have treated you like this, right? And so I blame myself, really deeply blame myself for what happened. And then, oh my God, I'm getting so vulnerable. And then last night, right, I'm like, I had a lot of disassociation because of the trauma I was experiencing. So a lot of these memories are very hidden inside my mind. And so last night, there was a red door in my mind, and I knew disassociation was protecting me from it. I remembered the first abuse, but I didn't remember the second one. And the second one came 2 days ago, and I'm really adept at like doing this because I've done a lot of EMDR on the first one, right? The first person that did it to me. And so I was like, why didn't you show us this like recently or before? Like, why is this coming through now? And my disassociation was like, well, I couldn't show you this because we weren't ready, 1. And 2, it was too overwhelming for our nervous system to understand it's my chorus wound. Like, I'm getting to the core, deepest part of me right now. And it needed to be hidden because I wasn't, like, my nervous system literally would have exploded and not survived if I hadn't taken this time and gotten to this place in healing already with the other stuff, right? And the core wound that is there is that I'm to blame for all the horrible things that have happened to me. And I must deserve it, right? And then that means I must deserve terrible relationships that happen later on. It's not the point. I'm trying to make a point here. And so my inner child was like, I'm to blame. And if I could just prove it later on in a relationship, if I could just get them to love me finally, if I just give my all, if I just, give my all, if I just like prove I'm worthy, then, and if I could just get what I want, which is what I think I want, but I don't actually want, I'm just trying to prove a wound, right? And I'm not saying that's exactly what you're doing here. I'm just trying to help you understand where I'm seeing it from. And so I talked to my inner child last night, and I'm like, why are you blaming yourself for this? And she's like, well, if I'm to blame, then I can fix it. I can, change. I can overcome it. I can change it in the future. But if I'm not to blame, then that means that they didn't love me. And then therefore that means I'm unlovable, right? And I'm like, okay, that's not true. And I tried like reasoning with her like an adult, But our subconscious doesn't speak in reasoning and analyzing. It speaks in images and symbols and very like small concepts, because my inner child is still young, right? And she doesn't understand. And also I have disassociation coming in. So it's like covering it all up, and it's like I couldn't even, I read her the words of, they just, you know, they had their own stuff, you know, they had their own shit, you know, they were just, you know, it wasn't about you, right? My inner child doesn't understand that. And so I had to really break it down. And the way I broke it down to her was the metaphor I used, but I also told her something else. But the metaphor I used was, I'm sorry, this is taking a minute. The metaphor I used was, a person that's thirsty cannot give water like a full river does. And then I also told her that it wasn't that they didn't love her or couldn't, it's not that they didn't love her. It's that they didn't have the love in there to begin with. They were empty. They literally, when they interacted with me, did not have anything inside, any love to even give. So it's not about you not being lovable. And also there's like the grief of like how horrible what happened to me was. And like really just like getting connected to that and how big it feels and how horrible it was. And like, if I'm to blame, then I can fix it. And then maybe I can change what happened, right? And it's like a belief in me of like, maybe I can fix it, right? In a relationship later on. And I try to do that. And it ended in horrifying circumstances. Not like for, you know, more for me, not for them. I mean, obviously they didn't like that I left, but, I got into an abusive relationship. And then it's like, I went through this whole process of like having to heal and getting connected deeper to myself. And I see a similar process for you. And it's not the same semantics and it's not the same circumstances, but I'm feeling the general energy feels very similar to like kind of what I experienced. And so I am saying all of this to help you know that it's okay to go to those deep places, which I think you have been. I'm getting that you already have been. And to also see where it's coming from. And I don't know how that will help you, what I just said, but I think it will. And I don't know how. I'm trying to like figure out how that's going to help you, but I don't feel like I should have to. I don't feel like I can. You know what I mean? But I do feel like, okay, so you may have had a similar like situation when you were with somebody that, or in a situation where you felt like it was your wish fulfillment. You felt like you were having to give everything just to prove yourself. There's like a proving myself energy. And then you were indecisive because you weren't understanding like why it wasn't feeling like relief anymore, because the devil will give you relief in the short term, but it will make you feel bad long term. And I think that you had enough hindsight. I think you had enough foresight to realize the long term here. And I want to say that's how big this is. Like the kind of processes I'm talking about that I'm going through, I feel like you're going through something similar. I really am, pal, too. Like it's coming out so similar. And again, like this probably is my pile, which is why I'm so like emotional about it. And again, I think it's around a relationship. I really do. And I think there might have been a couple relationships to where you have been in this kind of dynamic where you're always giving and always pushing and always trying and always proving yourself, and they're always treating you like shit. And it's like, you know, you thought it was your wish fulfillment. Then you went internal over the lovers. Okay, let's see what happened. Because I don't want to like just say what happened. Yeah, you got heartbroken. Yeah. Like I don't like whatever this was probably unhealthy. I mean, obviously the devil can be unhealthy. It's Capricorn energy. It doesn't always have to be unhealthy. The higher form of the devil is when you beat this. When you get to the point where you don't have to listen to your devil anymore because you've healed so much that it doesn't even affect you anymore. And you may still be going through this, and that's okay if you are. This is what this process is about. It's about healing deep wounds within you. Like the devil is, our behavior is a part of where our pain lies. It's an indicator to where our pain lies, right? So if you're in a relationship where you're always giving and trying to prove yourself, and they're treating you like shit, what is that telling you about your wounding? And what are you trying to achieve? Not what is the behavior doing. Don't judge yourself for the behavior. It's about asking why the behavior is happening and what it's trying to bring relief to. And I think that you've been exploring what that is. Yes, I said I think you've been exploring what that is. And look at you. You are the sun and you're looking at your pain. I just can't. It's so beautiful. I just can't. You've brought so much awareness to where you are wounded. You've brought so much love to yourself and self-love, and you've been looking at all this, and it's just like, this is, again, I can't tell you with the cliff thing. It's like trying, and it keeps blurring, but I know I'm like, my hand's doing it, but it usually doesn't do that. Like, it really doesn't. Yes, and I think you're trying to reconnect with like what makes you feel better. And like, again, it's like, I think you thought that this was what you wanted, but it really just led to like destruction and pain. And now you're like, you know that now that's not what you want. You know it's in ashes at your feet, and you are seeing small things grow already. I think you've already been a little bit in this new cycle where you can kind of breathe maybe for the first freaking time in a long time. And you're looking at, okay, where do I feel safe to reconnect? And again, this is a lot about boundaries too. Like not accepting behavior even out of yourself that's like unhealthy. And again, that's really hard. Again, you have to really be in a very like a position that's, how do I say this? This is not an easy position. This is like, you have to be in an enlightened position to get to this point. Like to what I'm seeing. Yeah, you could even still be experiencing conflict right now. What's the conflict about? Internally. I'm seeing it as an internal, because it could be external actually too, though, to be fair. Yeah, over something that you put energy into. Okay, what is this? 7 of Pentacles? High Priestess. What's High Priestess? 10 of Swords. Yeah. It's like you knew that if you stayed within this, you would consistently get fighting and pain and conflict, internal and external, and betrayal after betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. I kept seeing the Tower happen like 25 times in like a cycle. Like, and I know you usually see it like that, but that's what I was seeing. Oh my gosh, Pile 2. I can't tell you how proud I am of you. I can't even give you enough love and words and kindness and just joy and amazement and surprise and inspiration over what you're doing right now. You're working hard at, it's like you needed to get your ego on board. Like your ego was working against you this whole time is what I'm feeling. And it was getting you into situations where you felt like consistently devalued, consistently betrayed, consistently even abused, you know? And again, you had to find a place within yourself not to judge yourself for this, because judgment keeps you from healing. And I think that you were possibly I was judging myself a lot when I was in a really horrible situation, thinking like, what's wrong with me? Like, why would I stand for this? Like, I was like, just like almost disgusted at myself for like the lack of self-respect I had. But then it was like, well, why don't I have that self-respect? And then when I really looked at why, which is the stuff I was just telling you about, like this very deep stuff, I realized like why. I was like, oh, no wonder. Like, of course I do. Like, why wouldn't I put myself in that situation? I'm trying to prove to an abusive person that I'm good enough, because I that's what happened to me when I was a kid. Like, it's literally the same situation. It's just, it's not the same, but like, you get what I mean? Like, the flavor of it was the same. Even if it doesn't make logical sense, a lot of this stuff will not make logical sense. Like, this stuff that you're going through and working through takes serious intuition and intention and determination and resilience and perseverance. And that's why I want you to like give yourself such a huge like this is such a win. Like, and what's beautiful about this is like, it's going to affect the rest of your life in such a beautiful way. And you're going to be able to never have to go through stuff like this again. And you're going to have such beautiful relationships now because of it. And you're going to feel so much better. And you're never going to stand for shitty behavior ever again. Like, that's what you're getting out of this. And you gain so much more than I think you're even aware of. Okay. I think it was this King of Swords. I'm getting this King of Swords. So this is a resting energy on bringing conflict. This King of Swords is resting on bringing conflict, but they're resting on it, which I don't like. Hold on. Let me see if this is even done. What is this King of Swords? I was feeling another person this whole time as well. Yep. 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Okay. So this person is someone who wants to bring conflict. 5 of Wands. 5 of Swords manipulates you, makes you feel like they need to win at all costs. Could use tactics with the Knight of Wands, like charming, uses sex, can be using sex as a way, or passion, or charming, or showing up with roses, right? Like, it would be very show-offy, love bomby, right? Love bomb, love bomb, love bomb. You're so sexy. I think you're so beautiful. Oh my God, I love you so much. We've done so much together. We've been through so much together, blah, 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 right? But intuitively, you know what this is. I'm already seeing you clock this before it even comes in. But you know they're resting on bringing you conflict because I feel like you're walking away. Like, I really feel like you've walked away or you've been walking away, and they feel it. And so they're trying to get you back on the hook because this is such a hooking energy. I can't even tell you. You might have had a very strong attachment to this person. Either you knew them when you were a child, or you had a lot of past. I feel like a lot of you had a lot of past lives with this person because I'm getting a very strong past life feeling. But it's more than that. Like, there would have been in the beginning a sweet connection that you felt familiar with, and I'm telling you that familiarity is part of the past, and I think that's part of how you got hooked on this. Again, I mean 100% that's why you got hooked on it. And then you got into possibly a on and off again relationship, or just a relationship, or not even an on and off again relationship. It doesn't even have to be that, but regardless, 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, Knight of Wands with the King of Swords. King of Swords is someone who's like really good with their words, uses logic and analysis to get what they want, can be very good at charming, can be very good at hiding secrets. And then you have the 5 of Swords, which is like angry that you're trying to be more independent, angry that you're standing up for yourself, you know, really feeling extreme, like pissed. I'm feeling extreme anger over you and where you're going and what you're doing. And there's a resting on bringing conflict, but only to get what they want with the Knight of Wands. It's like this person wants to use you for sex or death. You're like, no. And if you are, again, I want to say this. If you let this person back in or even give them an inch, they'll take a mile, of course, right? Blah, blah, blah. Not the point. The point is that I don't want you to judge yourself if you still feel attached to this person, or if you still have something going on with them. I don't want you to judge yourself because that does not help you get away from it. Okay? I want you, this is about, how do I say this? This is about bringing extreme understanding to why this is so sticky for you, why this feels so hard to like let go of, and why this is so alluring to you. And it's alluring because it's talking to a wounded part of you that's wanting to prove that they're the best, not the best, prove that they're worthy and good enough and lovable to someone that can't even see it. And it's like, it's so hard. Okay, what's the 6 of Cups, King of Pentacles? Sorry, King of Pentacles. Why did I say that? Page of Pentacles. They're going to bring an opportunity to you, but it's just to entrap you again, is what I'm seeing, into another cycle. They're going to come to you with an opportunity. It's going to look like the Knight of Wands and the 6 of Cups. I love you so much. We've been together for so long. You know that you love me, and we've had so much together, and, we've been through so much together. We know each other for such a long time. I mean, it doesn't have to be these exact words, but I'm just giving you a flavor. You're so sexy. Oh my God, I think you're so amazing. You look so hot today. And the touching and you know what I mean? It's like a very I'm into you. I have nobody else. You're the only one. That kind of energy. It will be that kind of energy. But your High Priestess is already clocking this is coming in. I'm getting you're clocking it already. You feel the return. You may be feeling this person trying to return. And again, they're resting on bringing conflict. Look at this. I can't with this stuff. I can't. They're resting on bringing you conflict. And the freaking 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords and 5 of Wands with the 8 of Swords. They just want to entrap you because they want to use you. Look, they just want to use you. Where's the love? Do you see any cups? I'm mad. It makes me pissed and upset that this person has the audacity to fucking do this. I can't. After they brought you all this shit? Are you fucking serious? I can't. I'm getting so mad. Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm don't get so mad, Dina, but I'm so mad. Oh, oops, I said my name. Oh well. So yes. Let's see. Oh well. I trust you. That's part of why. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's not because of you guys. It's not. It's because of the people that abused me that I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Keep it hidden. Protect myself, really. So I don't want you to think oh, she doesn't want to tell her name. No, that's not it. It's not you, I promise. It's really not. Okay, I need advice for this. The High Priestess. Yeah, okay. The High Priestess. Love that. Your intuition is on fire, pile 2. You know this. Oh, but it's like the conflict. There's a conflict within you because you feel. Here's the thing. Like you. Okay. What is this? Let me. Before I say that. What's a 2 of Swords? Let me see what this is. I don't know if this is you. Why is there indecision here, though, spirit guides? Like, why? Why is there indecision? Are you just afraid and triggered and overwhelmed by your fear of that you feel indecisive about this still on the horizon? That could be it. Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, King of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. Do you feel like you're going to have to make a decision about this soon, or you're going to make a judgment call on this, I'm seeing? If you haven't made it already. And everything still applies if you haven't made this decision yet. Like, this is something you've been working on for a long time. Like, I can't tell you. It's like everything still applies. Like, I don't want you to think like, and that's why I want you to realize it's like, just because you feel indecisive about this still, and just because you haven't figured it out 100% does not mean that you haven't grown, does not mean that you haven't achieved so much. Like, Spirit, literally, like, I am so moved by how much you've done, and you've come so much farther than you think. But I am seeing a fear and being triggered and overwhelmed because you do feel like you don't have a full 100%, I'm done forever. You know what I mean? But I also want to say, like, trauma bonds like this, like, I feel like this is a trauma bond with someone. It doesn't have to be, but I do feel like it has flavors of a trauma bond. Trauma bonds literally affect your nervous system like drugs do, okay? They are a roller coaster. They bring high highs and really low lows. And it sucks because you feel like you get 2 sides of one person. You feel like you get the side of them that's amazing and lovely and kind and charming and amazing and whatever. Then you get this part of them that's like volatile and destructive, even violent sometimes or whatever. And it's just stark contrast that you're dealing with. And when they hurt you, and also they can isolate you too, when they hurt you, you want comfort from the part of them that's the good part. And it's like so messed up, you know? It really is. It's so painful. And the ups and downs of it, it's like dopamine hit, but also adrenaline and chaos. And so your nervous system starts getting used to that, right? And so when everything kind of gets peaceful, when you take a step back from this person, you'll start to have like longing happen and start just remembering the good parts, because that's our brain, right? Our brain's trying to get us out of pain, but it's the devil. It's like, and again, this is where looking at the deeper trauma, like I'm doing with my stuff, can help. You know, like looking at like, what are you actually seeking when you want to seek this person out? Or when this person comes towards you, what lets you let them in the door? What are you really wanting within yourself that you need? Do you want relief? Do you want pleasure? Do you want relief? Do you want pleasure? Do you want peace? Do you want to be seen? And I do want to say, you will feel consistently unseen by this person. And I feel like you've healed now to the point where even if you were to go around them, and I think that even if you are going around them, you're going to have to really make yourself fall asleep to do this. Like, that means that other negative behaviors that you have, like, let's say you're around this person, and if you go back, like, just listen to the one part of you, because I think other parts of you are really over this. You have one part of you that really, really wants to hold on still, and it's still having a difficult time letting go, which is totally understandable. There's no judgment. And what will happen, I experienced this too, but what can happen is that you might have other negative coping mechanisms come up to numb your body, right? Because your body does not feel safe around this person. No, I'm not getting that your body feels safe. I'm getting that your body has starting to get to the point where it has a visceral reaction to this person because of all the pain they've caused, is what I'm getting. And what can happen is that when that happens, we need to numb ourselves, right? Because we can't handle our nervous system feeling so like, unsafe, because this person feels unsafe to your body. Even if they're not unsafe in real life, I don't know who this person is. I don't want to be like judgmental, whatever. Not the point. Your body feels unsafe around this person, and maybe it always has. And you may just be really starting to notice that. But then what can happen is if you have a part of you that really wants to hold on, that really is seeking relief, and it's a very young part of you that you can't get to let go, then you're going to have to numb yourself a lot. And that means you could be drinking, you could be smoking more, you could be, I'm trying to think of other behaviors, right? But it's all to seek relief from the pain of what this person has done and the pain of the past and the pain of what's happening in the moment. So you're scared, which is completely understandable. So you're like, because I know you want to make a decision about this. I know you want to be firm, but I feel like that's what you're trying to gain right now. That's what you are gaining right now. You're gaining a firmer ground to be able to lift off of, to be, sometimes, okay, so I want to say this. With these types of people, if they are abusive, it is not smart to make a huge decision at once and leave, because that can cause extreme behavior in the other person, especially if they are abusive. And I'm not saying that they are, but I'm seeing elements of it here, that sometimes letting go into degrees is a lot more helpful. Like, just, you know, like, and I know that, here's the thing, this is getting so, okay. What was I gonna say? You may feel defeated. I was getting a defeated feeling. Crap. Spirit, help me. What was I gonna say? I don't remember what it was. Crap. Sorry, guys. I'll get it in a minute, probably. You might also be experiencing disassociation around this too. Oh, I really wanted to get it, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. Oh, I'm upset because I'm like, I want to know what it is. I can't go back, because if I do, then I'll lose where I'm at. Spirit saying focus on standing your ground and standing your ground and looking at your how to create long-term stability, because I think that we can, again, I feel like there's a getting caught up in the moment and the feelings and the nostalgia, right? Because that's here too. And again, I feel like you have an attachment to this person, and I think that it's really hard. I think that you have a soft spot for them. And I think that it's hard to stand your ground, but I think that that's why holding the long-term goal here is the most important thing that you can do. It's like, where am I going? Not what it like, and what do I need in this moment for myself without them, but where am I going, and what does my trajectory look like if I don't see them? And what does my trajectory look like if I do see them? Because I feel like you have enough information with this person around a relationship to where you know like what's going to happen. And again, I think that the fantasy is getting popped. Like, I think you had a fantasy of this person and for a long time that is not the truth of who they really are. And, yeah. Yeah, so you're looking on the horizon, you're afraid of making a decision. Oh, yeah, letting go in degrees. We're talking about letting go in degrees. So the abusive person can be extremely... If they perceive that they're losing control of you, because that's what this is, it's control. If they perceive they're losing control of you, they may try to grab on harder. And so, this is what I was trying to say. Even lying. I know that I don't promote lying. Okay, guys? I don't. I'm not saying lie, but like there is a way to go about this and removing yourself slowly by just telling them what they want to hear. And sometimes in abusive situations, the rule book, it doesn't apply. And I'm not saying go out of your integrity at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, it's not safe to tell this person you're leaving, then you need to, or maybe you have told this person you're leaving and they just don't believe you. I don't know, right? But if you don't feel safe to tell this person you're leaving, taking slow baby steps back for more periods of time over time to get more and more and more away from them is a very smart way to go about this. And I think that there is a need to be strategic around like what you're telling them, what you're going to do next. Like, and I know this reading has gone so long, like this is going to be my longest reading ever. But I think, the situation is extreme. If you're still here, you're definitely resonating. And I'm so sorry if you are. And this is so much. And I also want you, I also want you to, if you are in an abusive situation, I'm not saying this is abusive, but I do feel like it has tendencies to be abusive. Because I'm just getting it. I can't get over it. I just feel it so strongly in my body. Then, yeah, the rule book goes out the window. And I don't mean like all the rule books. I just mean You know, take your time, back away from this slowly. And again, the more space you get from this person, the more clarity that you're going to find. And I think you've gained so much clarity already. And I don't want you to be, I know I don't want you to be triggered or afraid or overwhelmed about making a decision. Like, of course you are, right? Like, you're trying to make sure that you're prioritizing your long-term stability, and you're trying to make sure that you're making sure, like, trying to keep yourself safe. And so I just want you to, like, Spirit's just saying stand your ground and remember the long picture. What else do you want me to tell them? What else? What else for advice? Because I need more advice. Tower. They might, yep, I was feeling tower after tower after tower. I said that. This person might bring in a tower. I'm getting it. The tower is that you're going to move to calmer waters and work on yourself. Again, that's why I think Spirit's pointing me to, like, it's okay sometimes to, it's okay to completely cut this person off, but it's also okay to go slowly and to back away slowly and not tell them everything going on. You can tell them, hey, I don't feel well today. I don't think I'm going to see you for a few days, you know, or hey, I have this going on, even if you don't. Because, like, honestly, this is about you, and this person has done enough damage to you. I'm getting such a strong feeling from Spirit right now. Like, this person has done enough damage. It is time to protect yourself. You are not wrong for protecting yourself. And if you feel guilt around leaving this person behind, that's also a trauma response. And also to look into why you feel guilty. And is it even about you? And did you have an idea when you were a kid of being loyal at no matter the cost to you? No matter what, you were going to be there. That's what love is. No, that's not what love is. Love is not you grinding yourself to nothing to appease another person. And I just, like, ugh, it just hurts me that you going through this. If you are, hurts me to my core, because I know exactly how it feels. Yes, you're releasing the sadness. Oh my God, pile 2. I have never ever in my life been so emotional in a reading, and I'm just, like, so proud of you. And I just, you know, you may be experiencing, like, relief for the first time in a long time, or maybe relief for the first time in your whole life. And I'm so happy that you are, because you're releasing, just, like, that's how you release this. It's like, if you continue with this person, you're going to consistently keep being fucking destroyed, devastated over this. And it's like, but if you, like, yes, short term, it may feel better for your mind and your ego to say, to see them, right? Because it's going to make you feel like you're not alone for the future. And again, you may have a trauma with being alone. I don't know, right? And it may make your ego feel better in the moment, but long term, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the 10 of Swords over and over and over again. I've never ever seen this many towers and 10 of Swords in my life in tarot. Like, it's, and I'm seeing it and I'm feeling it over and over and over again. You might have felt like you were in a blender with this person, just, like, consistently being tossed up in the air and dropped on your face. Like, that's how it feels. And I keep losing my train of thought, but I'm just so proud of you, because you've been working so hard at maximum level of overwhelm with this. And I think it's just, like, Spirit is just trying to get me to help you see how big this is, one, but also help you find relief and hope for yourself. Because if you do stand your ground, and if you stay away from this person, and I know it's fucking hard. It's hard. It's really hard. And I really want to say it's really hard. It's not easy. That's why all this stuff may be coming up, because you're like in the mode of, like, do I go back? Do I stay? Do I not stay? Do I leave? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going in, you know, you're just indecisive. You don't know if you're making the right choice, you know? And you don't know if you know what's going to happen, you know, and you're dealing with so much. Oh my God, I can't. But what will happen is, if you stand your ground and you don't see this person, and you just focus on your long-term stability, and you just be alone, go within, be on your own, you release the 5 of Cups completely. Like, this is a complete, I'm hearing erasure of all of your trauma with this person and in the past. Like, I'm seeing it 100% connect to almost all of your wounding. Like, I'm not saying that you're never going to have wounding again, or that you won't, you know, ever feel bad again, but this is, like, a different stage of healing. Again, Spirit's pointing me to, like, enlightenment. Like, this is the kind of thing that, like, Buddha went through. Like, I'm literally hearing that. That's so interesting. Like, I've never heard that in my life. Like, or like the road to enlightenment. Like, this is the road to enlightenment. This is how you get there. And it doesn't mean that it's always has to be this hard, but I do feel like, again, I'm being told again, your soul, you went through this because, and I don't want to see the part that's hard about that is that I feel like it takes away from what's actually happening. But it's like a footnote in part of it. Like, this is huge for your like evolution as a soul. But I don't want to be like, you chose to go through this, because like, you know, I don't know if you would chose to go through this, because I don't think I would. But my point is that I was told by my guides, I also chose to go through this too. So I don't know. Who knows if that's true, right? I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that that's what I'm hearing, right? You have to decide for yourself if that's something that makes you feel better or if it makes you feel worse. Because whatever one that is, if it makes you feel worse, then it's not something that you need to even think about. You know what I mean? I'm just saying if it makes you feel better, that's the goal here. The entire goal of this whole process was to get this from this to this. But to get it to go from this to this is like, again, the most grueling, insane process of your life, probably. Like, it's that big. Okay, I want to get some final advice. Oh my God, I've been going so long. It's almost 2 hours. Okay. This is insane. I love it. I'm so proud of you, pile 2. I can't. This is huge. Huge, 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 huge. Okay, final advice for pile 2. Unexpected visitors. There it is. You might have another visitor coming in that's someone that's actually really healed, and I'm hearing spirit say, like, once you finally leave this behind and release this person, you're not going to ever experience this type of thing again. You literally, like, I feel like you're on a lesson plan of like the last lesson of like this type of lesson. You might have experienced this lesson a few times, but if it, like, I'm getting the sense of like, this is the last time you're going to experience this type of person and this type of wounding. Like, you're going to move on to different things. Like, you're not going to be dealing with this type of person anymore. You're not going to stand for this type of, you've learned so much through this. And you now know what your actual wish fulfillment is, or you're on your way to knowing what your actual wish fulfillment is and what it's not. And you have an awareness of a visitor coming through. And it might be this person. So I'm just like letting you know that they're resting right now on bringing you conflict, but that's their plan, is to bring you conflict. Literally planning. That's why I'm like, this feels abusive to me, because this person is planning on having a conflict with you, planning on being in the 5 of Swords, which is winning at all costs, defensive, jealous, competitive, angry, could be violent. Doesn't have to be violent though, but their words will feel violent to you, and you will get a nervous system response of like terror sometimes, walking on eggshells other times, fear, dread even, and longing, all mixed up in one, and attachment. It's like fucking great. Isn't it great? That's why it's a riddle. It's like, that's why this is a riddle, because the devil's attached, and that makes everything even more unclear. It's like you have a blindfold on your eyes, you're following a path, there's rocks crumbling down, you're almost falling off the cliff, and there's rocks and boulders falling down off the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. And you still are finding your way through. Coming apart. Yeah, this is about breaking down like what's not meant to stand in your soul, in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your life. Like, this is coming apart. Like, it is coming apart. And I want you to believe that, because I know the illusion with this can be, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm going to be trapped forever. I'm powerless to change this. That's not true. That's your fear speaking. And it's also the devil speaking, not like the actual devil, but like, you know what I mean? What the devil represents, like wounding and, you know, and also this other person might be telling you, you'll never find anyone that's going to treat me as good as you are. Oof. I can't. Yes, I can't. Okay. This is such a huge metamorphosis. Like, this is like 100% like the most transformational thing ever. Like, it's crazy, because like pile one's going through like the opposite of this. But it's like the two sides of the same coin is what I was telling them this too. I'm like, you know, your fire energy might have gotten you in trouble. Like, you are impulsive and attracted and like to go after things that feel good, and you don't have a lot of boundaries. Pile one's like the opposite. Like, fire energy is dangerous. I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not even going to go near it. I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to be alone forever. And you're like the opposite. And so it's like, it's very interesting. And I feel like pile one's wounding is just the other side of the coin to this. Okay, anything else? Any other final advice for pile 2? You're doing so good. Please don't give up on yourself, and I know you won't. Yeah, okay, so the other thing is Spirit wants me to talk about. This can cause, trauma. This is if you're involved with anyone that's like this, even if you don't consider it abusive, I do. But even if you don't consider it abusive, this deep freeze is that two of swords. What can happen is trauma responses, right? Fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. You literally, if you're dealing with this person, might not even be able to make a decision about this, a full decision. And I don't mean you never will. I just mean like in where you're at right now, you may be experiencing in 100% like frozen, not able to move in the way you want and not feeling like you have the capability to make a choice. And it's because it's a trauma response. And the only way to get out of deep freeze is to stop trying to make yourself make a decision. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I'm telling you the deep freeze happens when we're trying to force one way or another what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. And so I want you to be, again, the only way to get out of deep freeze is to just surrender to what is and just try to focus on what makes you feel good and try not to focus. I know it's so hard though, like not focus on this. It's like almost impossible, right? But there will be days when you have more time and you get time to yourself to regulate and be on your own. And the more you can do that, the quicker you will move through this. And again, this is about baby steps. Baby steps of taking time and doing any crazy movements. I know it's hard because it's like when you're in a situation like this, all you want to do is get out of it. All you want to do is figure it out. All you want to do is like your brain is like in a loop, like fucking, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? You know, I know. And so, yes, you're getting out of a deep freeze. And I just wanted you to know, like, this is like what, like, this is setting you up to have like such deep healing, and you are healing right now, but this is setting you up for something so you can actually like find the right partner, so you can actually experience joy again in your life, to experience life again, to feel inspired, to be able to expand. Like this takes such strength, and that strength will be with you for the rest of your life. Wise salt, right? I know it's not your pile, but wise salt, the metaphor still applies. It's like you have to persevere, and because you've been through such pain and decades of it, right? You get to be so wise, and but it's not wise for others. It's wise for you. It's wise so that you know how to move. It's wise so that if you ever get in even a slight situation like this, you know exactly how to handle it. You know exactly what the red flags are. You know exactly how people manipulate. You're learning some seriously deep stuff with this pal too. Discernment, worth issues, avoidant issues, anxious issues. Even this will even help you advance in your career in a new way. Even this is getting you connected to your purpose more. This is getting you connected to parts of you didn't even know. This is about discovering that deep treasure that's underneath all that wounding that actually is who you are. This is about getting connected to your soul again. This is why I think it's like, I want you to see the bigger picture, because when you're in this, you can't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is so much better and beautiful. Like, this is not gonna last. Like, you're moving through this, you're gonna get through this, you're learning so much, and you are going to be so much better once you get out of this, and you're gonna be better than you ever have in your whole life, and you're gonna feel so much more relief every single day because you worked through something this grueling and this hard, because you're gonna find that you have pride in yourself for how you chose to move through this and how you chose to even react to this person. Because I get that, like, you didn't deserve, I know for a fact you didn't deserve this, but I also know that you even met it with like forgiveness and compassion way more than they deserved. And like that also, like, be proud of the way you've handled yourself through the situation for yourself and how you treated them. Because I'm not getting that you treated them at all badly. And you might have had moments, because of course, if you're dealing with an abusive person, you're going to get triggered and act out of character sometimes, because you get traumatized. This is traumatizing. And again, I do think you've been through some type of trauma earlier on in life that's connected to this. And if you haven't gotten into that, I would get into that the way I did, and that can be helpful. And again, if it's too much for your nervous system to do all at once, which that's not ever really the guidance, is to do it in small steps, like 1 minute a day, go within, ask yourself, like do the deep, try to reflect, see what's happening, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, what you need in the moment. Like, this is all about like getting to what you need in the moment and how to bring relief to yourself instead of seeking it from someone else. Okay, Pile 2, I love you so much. You're gonna get through this, and thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Hi, Pal 3, welcome to your reading. So today I am doing a reading on the most important message for you right now, and you pick the card rotation. We also have the Forest, the Thread, the Mentor, the Self, Impasse, Isolation, and Impartiality. Okay. Pile 3. I feel like you have been through a time of like being in a washing machine. I just kept getting like this imagery of you being in a washing machine or a dryer and just being tumbled all over and over and over, like this rotation card, like over and over and over and over and over. And then you finally got to like this beautiful place within you. And I'm getting like this pulling out of this rotation card. So like you could have been in, this could to me like signifies like you could have been in a cycle that was quite grueling or just repeating over and over and over again. And I get that you had to really get connected to pattern recognition on how to pull yourself out of this. I'm seeing like this thread. You see how there's like darkness all around this thread? And I'm seeing you are like, you have the thread and you're like following it and it's to this rainbow. And there's a rainbow here and then there's a rainbow here. And then there's a rainbow here too. And it's in the self. And it's like, okay, so then you're going, what's beautiful about this is that you're heading towards a really beautiful place because you're getting out of this part of the rotation. It's like I'm seeing you all the way around into the middle. And I think that a lot of this connects back to like the very core of who you are. And I think you had to get all the parts of you on board to kind of cohesively work as a unit to get to like your heart to be able to move forward. And you still could be going through this. So I'm just like, I feel like this is where you're going if you're not there yet. I feel like there was something that you were going through that was very hard to see through. Like we have the darkness here, we have the darkness over here, we have the darkness here. And it took a lot of processing. I'm hearing emerging into the light. It's almost seeing like you had to go like to the underworld of yourself, travel all the way to the underworld to finally be able to ascend back up into the light again. And I get really strongly, I'm just got this really strong hit that like you're someone who's very good at transversing through the dark, but transmuting it into the light. Like I'm seeing the alchemist card. Like you could be very good at alchemizing your own feelings, even if it's hard. Like I'm not saying this was easy, this was really hard. And I think that you now are becoming this mentor who is like able to help people and be a leader. And a leader because you've gone to such deep places, deep dark places with yourself and maybe with others even too, and have really look, I mean, even the self is dark. You see how the self is dark and there's all this light coming out of them? It's like, again, you had to get into the darkness within you to get to the light. And that's how it works. You know, that's how the path to the underworld works. It's like you have to pass through the 7 gates of whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about it. But this was about finding the color of who you actually are. It's like I'm seeing, it's interesting because Palo 2 had this come up. But I'm seeing this... like you had to get through all this darkness within you to like get to the actual like part of the core of who you are. And now the core of who you are is kind of shining through like a rainbow. And again, I feel like you could be in a transition stage or you're coming out of a period of darkness or a period of just a lot of challenges is what I'm hearing. Ooh, okay. So I'm seeing the 5 of Wands and the Devil. You could have had, a lot of internal conflict over something you were attached to, something you were giving energy to, something that you thought was something it wasn't. Yes. And I feel like you've gained such wisdom through this experience. I can't even tell you. It's so big to me. And again, it's like, again, through the dark, it's following this red thread of your intuition. And I feel like this thread and this forest and all these cards led back to you, which is what's so beautiful about this whole thing. It's like you really had to get connected to a lot of self-worth and a lot of perseverance and resilience and trust in yourself. Trust in yourself that you could get through this, because whatever the situation was, I just see it's like a consistent, like, you could have just been experiencing a pattern over and over and over in a behavior that you have, or you could have experienced a pattern with another person over and over and over and over again. And it's like that grinding of the, I'm hearing grinding of the wheel, but it's like the sand that's like with grit, with the pearl over and over and over again to create like who you are. But it's not create who you are. It's discover who you really are. And it's discover who you really are in a challenging way. And I just want to honor the challenge, but I do feel like you're really coming out of it. I feel like you're rising above. I feel like you again, I just keep getting this feeling of like you've been through something really difficult or a cycle that just would not stop rotating. Like this is the same issue come up with another person, or the same issue or same behavior kept happening over and over again. And I feel like you're finally getting a handle on it because you had to do a lot of self-discovery. And I feel like you had to go really deep within yourself in the darkness, the dark parts of you. It's like getting really comfortable with your shadow, or not comfortable, but really like aware of what your shadow is and how it works and how it affects others and how it mostly affects yourself. And again, it's a really hard process, and you might feel quite isolated. When I first tapped into your energy, I was seeing you like in an empty room, and I saw this rotation on the outside of you like this, but you couldn't access it. And every time you tried to go access it, you got burned, or you were afraid of getting burned. So you could be experiencing that, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, so the devil is the 6. I have black stuff on my hands from the Palo Santo. So the devil is in thinking that things are equal give and take with others that are not. It's like you might have been in situations where you were being breadcrumbed and you thought that you were going to get what you needed, but it was always like a lie or an illusion. Or you were consistently like in relationships that or even just like situations, or like even work and stuff, like devaluing yourself, but by giving a lot and then like thinking that you're going to get it returned to you, and you don't. Okay, what's going on with Pal 3? Those almost didn't want to come out. The Nine of Wands, the Six of Cups. You want this in reverse? 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So there's a situation that you were pouring energy into that I don't think you ever really saw the fruits of. It could be a relationship for some of you, or something from the past. Maybe this is just even the realization that all the energy that you put in the past led to wounding in some way, or it's present. I can't tell, or it could be both. And you're making a judgment call on this, yeah, because I feel like you're really tired. I'm just getting this really tired feeling of like, I'm giving so much, and like I feel like everything I ever invest in just gets released and it never gets honored, and I'm tired of giving. And like I think you're waking up to the fact that like it's not that you're investing, the investment that's the problem, it's maybe who you're investing in, right? That can be a thing. Or what you're investing in even. What's this judgment call on? Your emotions, how you regulate even. I'm getting like a regulating energy. You're trying to regulate your emotions after, I'm hearing a particularly difficult time. And maybe even, I'm seeing indecision. So feeling indecisive. You could still be feeling indecisive about this, but still trying to make a judgment call because I'm hearing you're just tired of feeling wounded and in pain over this. Maybe it's like a certain situation. What's the Two of Swords? Strength. Wow, it's taking you a lot of strength to have to go through this. We have Leo energy. The Magician. What's the Magician? Look how the Magician's looking this way and the Two of Swords is looking this way. That's interesting. What's the Magician? What's this Magician and Ten of Swords? I think you're afraid to make a decision because you're afraid of manifesting right now, because everything you've ever manifested has, not everything, but a lot of things that you've manifested have ended in betrayals, loss, endings, shocking things, even painful things. And now you're trying to move slowly because you really want to, you're trying to make sure you're being very aware, and you want to actually like get something out of it instead of just pain, is what I'm hearing. Trying to move very slowly and emotionally regulate. What's this? King of Wands. King of Wands. You want to feel confident in yourself, and you want to feel confident in going after other relationships. I'm just seeing that you've had a lot of rocky relationships, it looks like, and felt stuck for quite a while. Some of you may be dealing with someone where you currently feel stuck in not knowing how to make a decision about them. The Wheel. 8 of Cups. Why the Wheel of 8 of Cups and 8 of Cups? Why? Ace of Swords and Knight of Wands. Ace of Swords and Knight of Wands, and what? You're walking away from something, or you're processing maybe to walk away from something, but I do feel like you're feeling indecisive still about it. there's some type of truth that you're connecting to about what you want and where you want to go and what you want to connect to. There's some type of truth that's emerging, a breakthrough. And it is overwhelming you. Why is it obviously, of course, it's overwhelming you to walk away. Two of Wands. It's like planning out, like walking away overwhelms your nervous system. That's what I'm getting. Even though you feel deep down you have the truth of this, it's really hard to look at. And it also could be because of your beliefs. Okay, what is this? The High Priestess, the Moon. We have Pisces energy coming out. Almost want to go reverse. The Hanged Man. You might feel on hold right now because you're trying to figure out what to do about the situation to walk away from. What's this Moon? What's under the Moon? Under the Moon is the Hermit, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. What's this Knight of Swords? Are you afraid of this happening, or this is just your fears? Yeah, I was like, this is just your fears, and then this came out. The Knight of Swords, fears. Fears about being emotionally abandoned. I think you're trying to make sure you're being intuitively aware of how your subconscious is working and recognizing that you're afraid of moving forward, because I feel like there's so many situations that you've had that have hurt you, and you're trying to nurture your wish fulfillment right now. What's this Eight of Cups and Judgment and Two of Swords? I feel like you're making a judgment call, walking away and standing in your power. Yes. Why though? Because every time you could have a situation right now where every time you give to it equally, it meets you with the Five of Swords, which is like someone manipulative or someone trying to win or be competitive with you or create pain somehow. Conflict. Yeah, there's conflict. And they're resting right now. They're resting on bringing you conflict right now. That's great. Or you're healing the conflict within you. Okay. Wait. Yes, you're trying to... I feel like you understand that the way to move through this and to gain a higher perspective is to nurture yourself as much as possible through this, which is the right approach. I think you're walking away from something that's hard to walk away from. That I think you still feel indecisive and you're considering walking away or walking away anyways. Okay, wait, we just had that. Didn't we have on the horizon? We have Knight of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. Do you want all these? I have been holding these like... There's an opportunity to move forward, but you might feel apprehensive. But it's to create long-term stability. There's an opportunity coming in for you. What's this opportunity to move forward? What is this? I'm hearing a rescue. Interesting. That's interesting. I don't know why that came through. A rescue, support is coming in for you. Support is coming in for you. Spirit is saying that... What is this? Hold on. What is this Page of Cups? You might be apprehensive in accepting this because every single time you gave to your long-term stability, even a little bit, you were left out in the cold. And so Spirit's saying move slowly on the horizon because there's an opportunity coming in. It's an opportunity to move forward in your independence and your self-worth, but you may be like too focused on this Eight of Cups, this thing you're walking away from, to notice this hand that's bringing you a cup. But I'm not saying that you won't notice. I'm just saying that that it's hard. Yeah, you may be holding back from a relationship because you're focused on other things. I don't know. What's this opportunity and how should they handle it? Temperance. Go slowly, moderately. Go slowly because you still feel confused. You might actually have a lot of options coming in, and that may be why you're feeling confused too. I'm getting like there's a lot of options on the table right now for you, possibly. You might have decision overwhelm for some reason. Okay. Spirit's saying move slowly and is this an opportunity to walk away too? Some of you are having the opportunity to walk away from somebody. I don't know. What's this confusion then? Ten of Wands. But you may be overwhelmed by what? What overwhelmed by what? The confusion? By what? What are you overwhelmed by? What are you overwhelmed by? Two of Cups. By somebody else? By the relationship that you're walking away from? Or something that you're walking away from? Seven of Wands. But Spirit's saying stand your ground and start your new beginning. I'm getting this feeling like even if you're confused about moving forward and even if you feel stuck mentally in some way, you're still doing it anyways. I'm getting this strong feeling of like, I need to walk away from this anyways. It doesn't have to be a person, but for a lot of you, it's a person. I'm getting this feeling like you're standing your ground on a person, even though you feel overwhelmed and confused. But it's been a long process of that, feeling overwhelmed and confused is what I'm hearing. And feeling stuck. Yes. And this walking away is not even as much as getting away from the person as it is to unstick you from, look at 8 of Swords twice, to unstick you from this. And Spirit's helping bring, what are you helping bring them in? I saw a manifestation coming in for you. 5 of Swords and Page of Wands. Yes, anytime you might want to use your fire energy, you might be feeling triggered, or someone else is feeling triggered by your fire energy. And every time, I don't know, 8 of Pentacles with 5 of Wands. It's like you're working really hard to work out some type of conflict between you or between another person and you. What's a Tower? Tower, Queen of Cups. We had the King of Cups already. High Priestess and the Sun. What is this Tower and this Queen of Cups? Equal give and take. Okay, that's there. That again. Collect information about equal give and take. Does this person know what you're gonna do? Like they know you're gonna walk away intuitively? Or is it something else? I need something else. I'm confused as to what this is. Let me just use these actually. Okay, what? I'm so confused, Spirit Guides. What is this? What is this Queen of Cups? Is this your fear? Fear of disappointment? Are you afraid to take a new opportunity with someone else? Because you just were hurt? Oh, I'm like, I can't get this. What is happening? Okay. So I'm getting this feeling of like, Spirit's telling me you have you're walking away from something that's not serving you. I'm getting that there's on the horizon a new opportunity for you with another person, possibly, or something. There's some type of, it's going to make you feel really good. You're going to want to do it, but you might actually not want to take it because you still feel afraid because of how this other thing just went, this 8 of Cups, where you're just walking away from someone else. Okay, so why are you telling them about this then? Why? Because it's a opportunity to step into a new beginning as for your long-term stability and to nurture yourself even more. But what is the opportunity? Yes, walking away is your justice. Spirit's saying walk away because the karma from, I'm seeing like whatever you're walking away from, again, with the forest and the rotation and all the darker cards going into the rainbow. The rainbow, it's like where you're coming from is the forest, and the rainbow is where what your justice is. And your justice is coming in for you, but you're still affected by this thing you've been walking away from, or this thing that you just walked away from, and or are going to walk away from. But there's a new opportunity coming in for you. Some of you might still be having a hard time walking away from this person, but there's a new opportunity on the horizon. Spirit's just wanted me to point it to you. But you're feeling wounded. Yes, I'm feeling a woundedness, even though you're trying to move forward. Okay, so how do I help them with this? What is the advice? The Lovers? What's the advice? What's the Lovers? The Ace of Swords. I have to cover it up. The Lovers with the Ace of Swords. So this Gemini energy. I didn't say the cards really, but whatever, it is what it is. There's Leo right there, I can see. There's Uranus here. Probably all of them, honestly. There's a major truth about coming in for you. I'm getting it like it's like Spirit like giving you this truth. What's the truth about the Lovers? What is this? That's the Hierophant in reverse. There's an understanding. Okay, wait, is that what you're going to say? What's the Hierophant in reverse? My throat started itching really bad right now. It's so weird. There's a major truth about why you shouldn't have stayed committed to this. And there's a Tower because you're going to see why you had to move forward. There's something, I'm getting a really interesting energy that whoever you're walking away from is getting the dark side of the forest while you get the rainbow. It's like you guys switch places. I don't know if that's totally true, but I'm feeling that like a justice of the scales, like Spirit's involved for some reason. Okay, what's this Hierophant? Yeah, it's like you're going to have a major truth about, oh, Spirit's not happy. Ooh, I got a really strong first Spirit from, oh. There's a person, the person that you're walking away from that caused you all this pain. I'm seeing a lot of pain that they caused you. Spirit is not happy for them. And there's going to be a major tower for them when you walk away. And move to calmer waters. Oh, man. Okay. That's interesting. I wonder how that comes through. Move forward. Okay. Okay, what's this 10 of Wands and Knight of Swords? I know it feels overwhelming to move forward, Spirit says. And I know it's confusing. And I know you don't have all your answers right now. But it's the right move, Spirit says. Look on the horizon. What's on the horizon? I feel like there's an opportunity coming towards you, Spirit. What is that opportunity about? There's a King of Wands possibly coming in. Judgment and High Priestess. Someone, what? What is this King of Wands, Judgment, and High Priestess? The Empress. On the horizon, there's a King of Wands. There's a judgment call they're intuitively making about you. The Empress. The Empress. They're making a judgment call about you. What's this judgment call? That they know they left you out in the cold, but you're the wish fulfillment? What? Really? Hold on. Hold on. This is not the same person. Is that right, Spirit Guides? They feel sad over... I feel like I'm going in circles a little bit. Again, maybe that's part of this rotation energy. Yeah, there was a conflict that you had within a relationship. And it was something you had built into. And you felt in the dark trying to what? You were holding... what? Okay, what? I don't know why this got so complicated, but it is. It's complicated. I feel like, okay, help me, Spirit. What's going on? What do I need to know the most? I feel like I'm getting into other energies. I feel like other things are happening. Seven of Swords. So this person prioritized their money over you, it looks like. Brought deceit somehow financially or even just in your abundance and created conflict with what was coming in for you. I see. I'm like, what is happening here? I can't get the clear read on the message. Spirit's saying that this person hurt your manifestations from coming in. And now that you're finally leaving them behind, there's an opportunity because you're getting away from this energy that the scales of justice are coming down in your favor and not in their favor. And I'm not saying that's from me. And I don't think that, I'm not saying that from me. I don't like saying it because I feel like I don't like, I'm not a person that's oh, karma, you know what I mean? I'm not like that. That's not what I do believe in cause and effect though. But I don't believe you know what I mean? This person's going to have something horrible happen to them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this person affected the way you were manifesting and manifesting with your Queen of Pentacles and your Empress and your Knight of Pentacles. And it stopped your manifestations from coming in because you were dealing with such, I'm hearing darkness, dealing with this situation. And now I'm hearing the scales of justice are moving in your favor and moving out of their favor. I don't know what that means, but I'm not trying to put any oh, there's something bad's gonna happen because that's not what I believe. I mean, maybe it will. I have no idea. You know what I mean? But sometimes that does happen, especially if Spirit is wanting to teach this person a lesson. That's also possible. Okay, I want to get final advice, and I feel like I've used so many tarot cards that I don't have any more. I have so many, though. I'm actually, I do. Okay, can I get the advice? What is the advice for my viewer? What's the advice for my viewer? Because I feel like this got really confusing. I'm sorry, guys. I know this was round and round and round, but I do feel like it's part of that rotation energy. I kept getting... I hope it made sense. I don't even know what I was saying. Sorry, guys. I mean, I kind of know what I was saying, but I'm a little bit lost on what happened. Confusion, of course. There is a lot of confusion here that I'm feeling. What's this Seven of Cups? What's the advice for the Seven of Cups? What is this? Why does the King of Swords keep trying to take over your reading? I'm telling you, the King of Swords keeps trying to take over your reading, and you're the Queen of Pentacles. There's someone really hard in your energy that's making it hard for me to read you, specifically you, which you will feel like they're in your energy. This is someone you're walking away from actively or trying to walk away from right now, or that you just walked away from in the last few months. But they're really hardcore in your energy. I can't get away from it. Okay, what's the advice for my viewer, Spirit Guides? My viewer. There's an opportunity to get out of the confusion with the King of Swords is what I'm hearing. Yes, a rebalance, justice. There it is, rebalancing. after a really long period of, look at you slaying this dragon. I love this tarot because it's after tarot, it's a shot after the like one image of the tarot that it gives you a shot after. And there's a dragon here, and this person's slaying their fears. One of the justices for you is that you're going to get to see how far you've come and slay any kind of fear that you have over a lot of things. That's your part of your rebalancing. What else is their justice? Can I see what else is their justice, spirit guides? That you're not, that a relationship that, what is the hangman in the, hold on, what is this hangman? Two of wands and 8 of cups. The person's looking in their cup. The world and the tower. I just keep getting that your justice is to walk away from this and get off pause and plan, and it's going to cause a tower to this person. And it may cause a tower in your life, but you're meant to close down the cycle. Yes, because giving to this would be you giving your power away to the devil. So like this is like giving your external power away to someone else to keep something going for their ego even. Okay, what's the world in the tower? You're closing the cycle out. I just feel like it's very complicated. Yes, temperance. It's just taking a minute. It's taking a minute, and it's taking a lot of strength and balance within you to close this down. I wish I wouldn't have gotten so confusing. I feel like I didn't really even have, what do you need to know right now? You're walking away from this. You're getting justice for this. You are dealing with a very circular, intense enmeshment energy that I'm even getting confused by in this reading specifically. You still feel confused, but I'm spirit saying that if you still feel confused, I feel like this person's trying to confuse you actively, or they're creating confusion with their energy. Like their energy confuses you, like actually makes you feel confused. Okay, I feel like I'm like what do I need, spirit guides? What do I need? What do I need here that I'm not seeing? Like, help me. I feel like I've just been going around and around. I'm so sorry. Ace of Wands and 9 of Cups. Spirit saying that you have beautiful new opportunities that are going to be all of your wish fulfillments coming in. It's just walking away from this. And I think a lot of you already have. I just think this person's still in your energy and still wants to like come around you is what I'm getting. And it's taking a lot of strength to keep strong in your boundaries against this person at all. Like it's really hard to do. Okay, anything else for advice? Yes, you see the truth. You see the truth. You're going to see the truth. You're going to see the truth of why you had to walk away from this. Why it was so confusing. I feel like this person is purposely trying to hide things from you. I don't know why. Yeah, you're going to pour out, oh my gosh, remember when it was like that cup that like you kept, and look at, they're pouring the cup out. It's like a cup that's not good. Okay, that makes sense. So it's like they're offering you a cup. Is that what it is? Is that what I've been missing this whole time? Is that they're trying to get you to stay with them and keep taking their cup, and you're like, no, I'm pouring it out, and you feel trapped, but you're taking an opportunity to get out of the cold. I'm seeing you take an opportunity to get out of this. You're releasing this. And Spirit saying, I know it's hard to walk away, but start your new beginning because you're going to have such better connections. I feel like you're going to I really do feel like you're getting justice for this. Okay, anything else, Spirit guides, that I need to say? Because I feel like I just I don't know, this reading was, I tried really hard, but I felt like I was just all over the place. I don't know why. Oh, yes. Okay, I am right. I kept doubting. Why am I doubting myself so much in this pile? Okay, you're pouring out, once you pour out the cup, once you get yourself unstuck and not feel left out in the cold, once you walk away from this, whatever this is, and put this person finally puts their sticks down once they realize you're serious, there's an awareness of another person coming in for you. Or this is them coming in, which I don't think so. No, this is a decision to make on a new love. I feel like a person's coming in for you specifically after you deal with this. And it's a King of Wands. And they're very emotionally regulated and strong. And so are you. I'm getting you're a very strong, emotionally regulated person. Yeah, because you're looking into your subconscious. I see you with the Hermit go deep within and see why you had to walk away, what's going on, what the cycle was about, why you were in this rotation energy over and over again, what it's leading you to. It's leading you to such a better place of balance. I mean, really, this is for me this is about internal balance. Or what I'm seeing, it's I'm sweating so much. It's about internal balance. And regaining internal balance after being in a very destabilizing situation. I feel like it was quite destabilizing. I hope this resonated, you guys. I hope it resonated. Okay. My readings are getting so specific lately, and I'm a little bit is this okay? Okay, what's the advice? Yeah, your grief is going to give you wisdom. Can you sum this up a little bit better for me, Spirit? I just feel like it's just like, I don't know why I'm like doubting the whole thing. Maybe you're doubting your decision to walk away from this. And Spirit's saying, don't doubt your decision on walking away from this. Like, this is not serving you. I'm getting like it was tied to the devil. Maybe that's why I got so confused. Maybe the confusion's part of the devil for you. Joy, despondence. Yeah, you might feel like because you've been in this situation, it's been hard to feel joy lately. And you've been kind of like feeling maybe depressed a little bit. And Spirit's saying there's going to be a return of joy once you get away from this person's energy. Oh, God, I'm getting it so clearly right now. This person makes you fall asleep. Like, this person's energy even makes you fall asleep. Like you stop being aware of your intuition. You stop thinking clearly. You stop feeling as intensely, like, or you feel like less of yourself. Like, this person's energy is almost like anesthesia. That's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm like, I feel like I can't get this reading. And I usually can get like the meaning, the core of the issue, like eventually. And I feel like it's still really murky. So I apologize for the message, but I do think that Spirit's trying to point me to like, show me like how falling asleep happens, right? Like, you don't even know what's happening, and then you've been asleep, and then you're like, I think you're waking up. And I'm not saying you've been asleep. I'm saying like this person being around them makes you have to go to sleep, or makes you feel like you're like despondent, like depressed, or not even depressed, just numb. Like, there's a numbness. Like, this person might have, oh my God, I'm finally getting it right at the end. This person has an energy where they might use like disassociation or some type of numbing within them to help them crush their feelings down. And so I'm getting a transference, an energy transference between you and them. And then, but I don't feel like you're normally like this, but I'm getting this like sleepiness and this like cause and effect of like the sleepiness that this person, you may be very open to energies like just normally and very good at reading energies normally. And I feel like this person, like, it's like almost a very comfortable numbing too. It's like it would feel soothing to you. It would feel comforting to you. So if you've been dealing with this person, maybe that's why it's so hard to walk away, because there's some type of relief that you do get when you are around them. Oh, that makes so much sense. I'm like, I feel like I couldn't get it because I do feel like I kind of fell asleep in the reading because I was like, what the fuck's going on like the entire time? Yes, I feel like your passion fell asleep. Yeah. It's like, and it's been hard to find your center, which is why all the rainbows, oh my God, it makes sense. I hope you guys lasted this long. I'm like, you probably clicked off. I mean, you didn't, but whoever was before you probably did. I'm being really hard on myself also. So I do want to say that like there is an element of that too. But being hard on yourself for this, and don't be hard on yourself for this, because I'm feeling a lot of energetic things happening that are really hard to name in the 3D. Like I'm like the way they're affecting you is really hard to see. I'm like really hard to see what's actually going on beneath the scenes. Like, you know, everything is like all over the place. I'm getting like an ADHD feeling. Like, and again, I'm telling you that this person's energy might be affecting you so much that it's coming into the reading, which I definitely feel like it is. And it's really hard to see the rainbow through the forest, right? I mean, you're like transversing, like, look at this reading. Look at how many cards there are. And I feel like I didn't get anywhere until now. It's like you're having to go through all this like stuff, static, darkness, sleepiness, numbness to get to this rainbow. And it's like, I don't feel like this is your normal energy. And so why would they have to go through that though, Spirit? I don't understand why you would have to go through that. Why would they have to go through something like that? Why? Grief. What? Oh. Does this person make your grief feel like calmer or like soothed? What's the grief? Hold on before I say that. Wisdom. I was literally thinking wisdom and grief before. I didn't even say that. I wish I would have said it out loud, but I was like, no, it can't be that. I always say that. I said that in my head. Like, I always say that. Like, I shouldn't say that. God, I don't know what it is with doubting myself. But again, you may feel like this person, being around them, you automatically start like feeling extremely bad about yourself, or extremely doubtful of your intuition, or extremely doubtful of like yourself in general. And again, I think that they're going through this is bringing you some type of wisdom about how to transverse these types of energies. Oh, because you're destined for abundance. Yes, and I do think that justice thing was clear. The justice thing was like one of the more clear things that kept coming through. Like, this person, I'm getting not even this person, but you. Yes, the trickery is dissipating. Again, I'm telling you, like this person, I'm not saying they're actively trying to make you fall asleep, but I am feeling a wanting to fall asleep while in their energy because they may do that to themselves. It's really very interesting. Like I didn't even really think that was like a thing, because you're destined for abundance. And this is what Spirit's saying. Like this person helps you fall asleep, helps you feel better in the moment, maybe soothe, maybe your ego feels soothed right around them, but it's always making you feel so confused and like you're in a rotation of a circle and you can't really even figure out what's going on actually. And it's because you're trying to get out of this forest. It's their kind of energy. It's like, I'm feeling like their energy is really has a very strong effect on everyone around them. So like when they get angry, everyone else kind of gets angry, or when they fall asleep, everyone else kind of falls asleep. It's very interesting. It's very like enchanting. Hypnotizing. Oh my God. It's hypnotizing. Trickery and soulmate. Oh my God, I finally got it. Oh. Is this person doing this on purpose? Do they know that you react like this? Spirit's saying stand your ground and walk away, because this is really a slippery slope. Like I got slippered into this one. I got sloped into this one. I did. I swear I did. I literally can't remember, except for the justice and maybe the devil. And sometimes I can't remember my reading, so that's fair. But there is 100%, like I was like, why? I kept going in circles over and over again. I don't even know how long it's been that I've been doing that. Honestly, I really think that this is something that you're dealing with. Like the energy of it came through in the reading to help me understand what was going on, but not the cards. Like everything in the 3D may not be able to be like figured out and put into place, and that's why you're so confused, and that's why I got so confused. So it's like the energy, pay attention to the energy more than what's going on in the 3D. Like pay attention to the way you're feeling, the way just the way you're feeling around this person. Like get very internal. Try not to figure it out external. Like try not to be like, okay, like what is this person actually doing? Because I don't know if they're actually doing something or if it's just an effect that they have on you, but it's based in trickery, so which I don't like. So it feels like this person knows the effect they have on you and is using it for their own good. And I remember there was a Knight of Wands, right? I hope that was in this reading. Yeah, because no, that was in pile 2. So I'm saying I can remember pile. I'm telling you, there's something off about this. Pile 3. Oh my God. So what you need to know right now is that this person's energy makes you fall asleep. And I don't think you even realize it. And I do feel like you want to walk away even though you feel indecisive, but you only feel indecisive because of the sleepiness that you're experiencing and because of the what? Because of the what? Because of the what? The service enlightenment. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to know. Maybe also you want to be of service to this person in some way, and maybe that's, I don't know, what? Or I'm supposed to enlighten it to you by showing the service, I guess. What's the victim? Hold on, what's the victim? Release, gossip. Spirit wants you to release this, because if you continue, you're just going to continually feel like this person right here in this picture, just so upset. Because like this person could be also gossiping about you, and the trickery card, it looks just like this dragon right here. Where's the trickery card? I think I put it back. There's a dragon in the trickery card, and it says victim. So I'm hearing like this person is like using you somehow. And it makes you feel complacent almost, and confused and complacent. And again, I think it has something to do with their energy. Yeah, because they're wearing a facade. Oh my gosh, pile 3. This is intense. So I think that Spirit's just saying, be very aware of your energy, stand your ground, walk away. You have so much beautiful things ahead of you. This person, I feel like, is going to get hit with some justice. Like, no offense, but I really do feel like this person's going to get hit with some justice. I think there was a lot of hinky things going on behind the scenes that you couldn't even see. And you would kind of feel that. But I do feel like you might have just gotten into a rotation of falling asleep with this person and not even realizing or knowing why, and been trying to figure it out this whole time. And Spirit's saying walk away because you have new opportunities. And even if you feel indecisive, there's a reason you feel indecisive, and I think it's this trickery that they're doing. And the more love and more space you can get from them, the more clear you will get, because being around their energy makes you fall asleep. Oh my gosh, Pile 3. Thank you so much for staying with me. If you're still here, I love you so much. I hope it kind of helped you in some way. I'm so sorry for the on and on and on and on and on. It just shows me what you're going through is so hard. Okay, Pile 3, I think that's all I have for you, and I will see you guys next time.